Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Hey, welcome everybody to the ultimate Cleveland sports show. It's just Jason and me right now. We got snow, crazy weather, everything going on. We almost did the show from home today, but we decided to come in. Jason is here with me. GBush will be here in a little bit. Tyvis will be here in a little bit.
Tyvis should be here any minute.
Yeah, Tyvis will be here any minute. We got Mike, we got Steve, we got Anthony on the other side of the glass.
That's crazy. What shot is that, Steve? Is that
downtown?
It's the weather camera, downtown Cleveland.
Wow?
Yeah, that's a mess. It was a crazy overnight. School's closed. Aaron is here with me today. If you want to show him, Steve? Mike?
You know, I was talking to Steve about it before the show.
Yeah.
This never would have been a snow day when we were kids.
Never.
No chance.
No.
We had a 30-30 rule in Avon Lake. 30 feet of snow or 30 below. That's the only way you got a day off.
Let's get you back home.
Yeah, I
back in my day.
You know what? I like when they have snow days.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh,
It's
Tyvis
fun.
comes running in.
Oh, here we go.
Here he is.
I made it. You did make it.
Yeah,
That's incredible,
You're only a
dude.
minute 50 late.
That's incredible. We told you to stay home. You said I'm already on the way.
We literally told Tyvis, don't worry about coming in today.
Yeah.
It's okay. We appreciate the effort, but you come from Columbus. The roads were very iffy in certain spots. And Tyvis said, nope, I'm coming in.
I can't remember either Mike or Jason. Amongst the three of us, one of you guys texted me in a group of three and said, it's crazy for Tyvis to come in
That
today.
was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
And I immediately
Tell him to
responded
stay
and
home.
said, 100% he's coming in. There's no way he's not going to come.
I said, just tell him to go home and we'll do a hit with him from home.
I think it's ingrained in Tyvis from his football career. Like, if he doesn't show up, he might lose his job.
That's a fact.
Which is not
That
the
is
case.
a fact.
It's totally
If
insane.
you miss
It is
a day,
completely not the fact.
if somebody comes in, you're opening the door to be replaced.
Well,
it's a fact.
Who's going to replace you?
Nobody's replacing you.
Everybody's replaceable.
Oh, of
The
course.
one thing that doesn't exist in this world is job security. There's no such thing.
Well,
anytime
Unless
that
you're
you
the Steelers head coach.
anytime that you believe that you safe is when you're going to get replaced.
Tyvis, there's a little bit of truth in everything
Of course.
you say.
That's a fact.
Obviously, you're not going to lose your job, and had you not come in, you would not have been replaced. We would have just done the show without you. We would have had somebody else be in here.
Well, right now G is late, so therefore we need some segregation or some desegregation,
desegregation.
some desegregation on the show. So that's why I had to show up.
Well,
All right.
what's hysterical is you were coming from Columbus and you beat G.
I know.
He's coming from the east side.
He said he had to drop his wife off somewhere.
Anyway, so lots to get to today. Obviously, you got big news in the NFL with John Harbaugh, which we'll get to in a minute. Big news with the Cavs as they win, but Darius Garland gets hurt again.
Sam Merrill too.
Sam Merrill, you're right. Sam Merrill got hurt also last night. We'll look at some predictions on who the Browns coach may be. Everybody is losing their mind over Grant Udinsky.
Yeah, what's
because
up
he
with
sounded
that?
smart in the YouTube video. That's why everybody wants him
He's
now.
like I checked Twitter like the past 2 days, and he's like all Browns fans is, yep, that's who I want.
I mean, it's just,
and I'm like, we just ripped him on Tuesday. Now 2 days later,
every
everybody
Browns
wants
fan
the guy.
has convinced himself that that's the next Sean McVay.
I
Sean
guess.
McVay, there is no other Sean McVay.
You know what?
And by the way, Sean McVay was an offensive coordinator for 3 years and had been a coach for a long time.
What do we need to see out of this coach that they hired? Like what?
We're gonna get there.
Oh, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to all of this.
Basically, one of the topics.
All of
Anyway,
this.
and whoever I know, all kids is out of school today. There's no way.
I assume.
There's no way. Coming from Columbus, it was. I'm like, what is everybody talking about?
It's a long ride from Columbus.
I got to Medina, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah, they ain't going to school today.
Yeah, we got Aaron's school got canceled at like 10:30. Was it? Yeah.
Last night.
Yeah.
Oh, they did it early. When did y'all start getting hit? When the storm
It started
hit?
snowing about 4 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah,
'cause
about
I
4 o'clock.
left here I did an interview with the Charge that we're going to play later, but I left here around 4:15.
Yeah.
And it was just starting to come down. And
Yeah.
it was not coming down when I drove back to the studio around 2:30. So
Yeah. It
somewhere
was around.
between
It was
3:30 and
around
4.
4:00. Yes.
That's wild. Columbus, I'm thinking like, I'm waking up like, let me get up early in Columbus.
Yeah.
I got to get to the station. It's
it's
barely
different snow pattern.
barely snow on the ground.
Even the difference in the east side and the west side could be a huge difference.
Vastly
I don't know
different.
how much it was this time. I know I had to drive to the west side so one day last week. I think
You
it was
live
last.
on the west side.
I'm sorry. I had to drive. I had to drive out to Geauga County like a week or so ago, and it was during the day. And most of the drive, it was fine. And as soon as I got to Geauga County, I couldn't see out my front
It's
windshield.
a whole different world
yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah. I don't remember what day it was, but that's the difference. So the fact that it's not as bad in Columbus,
at all.
I mean, you're not on a lake in Columbus.
That's
so,
true too.
It's
It
big
truly
difference.
feels like I'm in the South. Like it truly feels
I
like
don't
the South
know.
now.
South.
I swear.
mean,
it's just
yeah.
like people be like, "Yeah, man, it's a big snowstorm," and I look out my window. I'm like, "It ain't even."
There's nothing.
How
on
much
the
snow do you
ground.
guys normally? Not that much. How much snow do you get?
They get it depends.
A little bit, but not
yeah,
like
this.
No.
No, like, the roads is terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was covering Ohio State, they called Cleveland the Great White North.
That's funny. I mean, it's not like it's that far away.
Yeah, when I
2 hours make a difference.
Yeah.
But I'd have to cover Ohio State basketball games like on a Wednesday night and then
Yeah.
drive all the way home. Like,
used
have
to do-
fun
you
going
used
back
to
to
do
great.
that?
Yeah,
Oof.
Dang.
that's back when Brent Darby was there, when they were good. I'd have to go down.
Yeah.
My senior year of college, I got the Ohio State job, but while I was still in school, I hadn't even graduated yet, and I was still in school. So I was living in Kent. I was driving to Columbus to do basketball because it was winter semester, and then I'd have to drive to Lorraine once a week to put the paper out. And I was just doing a triangle, Kent, Columbus, Lorraine, for that whole last semester. I blew off a week of school and went to Chicago for the Big Ten tournament. Man, I thought that was great. Like, this is going to be.
You blew
Good
off
life.
school.
I mean, well, I blew off school for 13 years, 14
Yeah.
years. But
I mean,
that week especially.
yeah, it was on the back burner. All right, Mike, let's get going. What do you
Yeah,
got?
when GBush gets here, he'll just join the conversation, but he's not here, and we got a show to do, so let's dive into it. FanDuel is a proud sponsor of UCSS, guys. The NFL playoffs are here. FanDuel is officially in playoff mode every game day during the NFL playoffs. FanDuel is giving customers even more ways to get in on the action. Right now, every NFL playoff game day, FanDuel users are getting a profit boost pack waiting on them inside the app. It's just like any other game day. You make your picks and then apply the profit boost to get even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. Just visit FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. All right, guys, we have some head coaching news, rumblings, and predictions to get into. ESPN wrote an article yesterday. Dan Graziano from ESPN predicted the 9 head coach openings. Now, this was before the John Harbaugh news.
He was already wrong.
Mentioned in a second. He was wrong because in Dan Graziano's predictions, he had a prediction of John Harbaugh landing in Atlanta. These are the other 8, and he had Jeff Hafley to the Giants, but I didn't put Jeff Hafley on this list because the Giants have now hired John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Arizona, he had Clint Kubiak. Baltimore, he had Kevin Stefanski. Cleveland, he had Mike McDaniel coming from Miami to the Browns to be their next head coach. Moving on, in Vegas, he had Robert Saleh. Miami hiring Chris Shula. Pittsburgh hiring Jesse Minter. Tennessee hiring Matt Nagy, who was the former Chiefs offensive coordinator. And once again, I mentioned he had the Giants in this prediction hiring Jeff Hafley. But as we found out this morning, John Harbaugh is officially heading to New York to be the new head coach of the Giants. So 2-part question, Bull. We'll start with you. We can go around the horn and discuss this in more length. A, now that Harbaugh's off the board, how quickly do you expect the other dominoes to fall? And then B, Mike McDaniel as the prediction, are you feeling like that's starting to get a little more traction?
No, I don't know. I don't think we have any idea what's really getting traction because we're not in that room. He is just his predictions. He might as well have thrown a dart at the dartboard. I mean, he's just guessing. Frankly, no offense to Dan Graziano, that's a terrible guess. The Giants clearly had a relationship with Harbaugh. Like, that seemed pretty obvious that he was going there.
I mean, yes.
So I don't understand how can I trust any of his predictions when he had John Harbaugh going to Atlanta? That's weird. To answer your first question, yes, everything was on hold until Harbaugh made his decision, guys. Everything was on hold.
Yeah.
Because until Harbaugh made his pick of where he was going. Every other team was going to wait, outside of the Ravens, to see what Harbaugh chose. Because, let's say the Falcons like Kevin Stefanski.
He was everybody's first choice.
Right, he was everybody's first choice. So until your first choice makes a decision, you're going to wait.
Right.
And if you're Kevin Stefanski, well, maybe you got an offer from Tennessee, but you're like, well, I want to wait and see if I'd rather go to the Giants, right? Maybe go to the Falcons. Let me wait and see, what John Harbaugh does. So now that Harbaugh has signed, or I don't know, I don't think it's official yet, but once, now that he appears to be going to the Giants, also takes Todd Monken off the board apparently.
Yeah.
Because he's apparently going with
Monken
Harbaugh.
is following Harbaugh. That has been confirmed.
Yeah, because nobody was going to hire him to be a head coach. I would expect in the next it wouldn't even stun me if by next Friday 7 even of the rest of the jobs are gone.
I don't think it'll be that many. Well, how many are open? 8?
8 now.
There are currently 8 still
Does that
open.
count the Giants?
No,
No,
Giants
8 not
9.
including the Giants.
I
There's 8
believe
still open.
I believe by this time next week, 5 of the 8 will be refilled. I feel like Halfley going to the Dolphins. I feel like that's going to happen. For some odd reason, I'm with Dustin. I'm starting to feel like Kevin is going to end up in the AFC North.
I don't see it.
I really could think. Well, I could see him going there. I could see him going to Baltimore. I could see that.
I mean, if I were Stefanski and I had my choice,
you would
Baltimore's a no-brainer.
Oh, absolutely.
I think he's going to Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't
so?
think he's going to the.
Ain't you meet with them today?
I've had a couple people tell me Tennessee.
Yeah.
Now, again, they're guessing, like everybody's guessing.
Yeah.
But their guesses are better than my guesses. But
I believe.
I said yesterday I think he ends up in Tennessee or Miami. That was my guess.
No, I think Halfley going to Miami because they took the GM from the Packers to Miami. So I was like, oh, that would make sense for Halfley to go there.
Yeah. But it's going to happen.
Did I see Pittsburgh interviewing Brian Flores?
Yes.
want to.
They are.
That would be a really good fit.
That's such a great fit for him.
he was already there.
Such a great fit. Oh man,
if I'm Brian Flores, I'm like, even though like the Steelers at the moment is not as good a job as it would normally be because of their quarterback situation and most of their key players are old, but it's still the Steelers.
Still the Steelers.
It's a great. You get that job, you're not getting fired quick. Like you're going to get a chance to, and Rudy's not stupid. He knows that they got to turn this team. Like there's a lot of work that needs to be done with this team.
Is Kevin the next best available head coach?
Depends on what you're looking for.
I know how you feel about it, but I'm just saying the general census.
I think the general census would be yes,
Okay.
but it depends. I agree with what Andrew Berry said. Different teams are looking for different things, and some people may not want Kevin because some of the problems they had here. And I thought Steve Bisciotti's answer was great. It felt like he was describing Kevin, but he was also talking about Robert Saleh when he was talking about, like, we're not going to be scared off if there's a coach who's been somewhere before.
Yeah.
He's got a losing record. We don't care about that.
Right,
So
which is smart. I mean,
it is smart.
You got to do your own. You can't. That's part of the big picture of what. Obviously, you're going to consider that at least in part.
Sure,
but you shouldn't write a guy off.
Yeah,
for that.
The Mike McDaniel thing, like. If they got Mike McDaniel,
I don't understand. Mike McDaniel feels like, I know he's got a little bit of a different personality than Kevin Stefanski, a little bit.
A lot different.
Well, okay, a lot of different.
Publicly, at
he's
least.
young.
They're the same, like, they're both mild-mannered. Like, they're not. Joe Thomas
But
said,
most of them are today. Most of the coaches are in that
guess.
cloth. There's not that many. Like Flores is the exception.
Yes,
he's
that's
not
true.
the norm.
Halfley, I think, is more in the Flores vein.
Yeah, he's a.
In terms of like.
What do you mean? Yeah.
Like he's going to be more leader of men type. No.
Oh, he's a great leader. Yeah. I think Robert Saleh's more
solid.
Is more.
It's like defensive guys. Defensive guys are more.
We had Joe Thomas here yesterday, and while he spoke highly of Mike McDaniel, liked him, good coach, he's like, I'm not sure he's a leader of men.
Yeah.
And he's like, the Browns need that type of coach.
I just like Mike McDaniel. Like he's one of those guys that's like, he comes off as I'm your friend.
Yeah.
Like you want the dude that come in and like, this is what we doing. This is my way or the highway. You can get out of here like that. I feel like they need that.
That's exactly why. Although, listen, I have killed Kevin Stefanski a lot in the last year, but for most of his tenure, I thought Kevin Stefanski was a fine coach. I didn't think he was great, but I thought he was fine. And if he goes to a situation that's good, if Kevin Stefanski ends up in Baltimore, I know there's a lot of people like, oh, he's going to ruin Lamar Jackson. No, he's not. No, he's not. If he goes to Baltimore, he's going to do fine. I'm not saying he's going to win a Super Bowl, but he's going to do, like, he'll do well. If he goes to another crappy situation like this, he's not going to do well.
So
because,
Tennessee?
like most coaches, it depends on your talent. There's only a few that make a marked difference.
Does Tennessee
my
have
opinion.
a lot of cap room?
They
Cap
must.
space?
Yeah,
so they
must.
can make
Yeah,
a
they do.
they can make a lot of
Who are
moves
they
in free
paying?
agency.
I mean, they're not paying anybody.
They
They're
got
paying-
rid of everybody.
They got one defensive lineman.
Harold Land.
what's
Jeffrey
Simmons makes a lot of
Simmons.
money.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the only person they're paying. I can't think of who else they're paying right
I mean,
now.
the quarterback determines a lot of these jobs in terms
course.
of how attractive they are.
Well, that's the thing, to your point. Like, Harbaugh, I understand, like, I mean, the Giants have been a bad organization recently,
Yeah.
but overall they're more highly thought of than Tennessee.
For sure.
But ultimately, if John Harbaugh thought Cam Ward was significantly better than Jackson Dart, he probably would have taken Tennessee.
He'd at least taken the interview.
Yes. So he must think Dart's at least good enough.
Yeah.
And he likes the organization.
Remember what you're saying. Remember what you're saying.
That's why Kevin
that?
got fired.
No, because we got topics coming. Remember what you're saying about Dart, because I just
Dart.
find the whole thing fascinating in terms of quarterbacks and all that.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing
We
with you.
got
Yeah.
a topic coming. You read the rundown?
I always read the
but my
rundown.
point, listen, the original point I was making about Stefanski. So I'm not, unlike a lot of people, I don't think Stefanski's a terrible coach. I think that's ridiculous. I think he's like most of the coaches in the NFL, somewhere in the middle. So the reason I ultimately wanted him gone is because I think there's been too much losing. We've talked about the stuff like behind the scenes, not standing up for himself. But I feel like they need like a kick-ass guy right now.
I just
To hire Mike McDaniel, I just
well, you'd be
I
literally
don't see it.
If you hire Mike McDaniel, I think that would come with the Jim Schwartz got to stay the defensive coordinator type thing. I just feel like if they do that, then it's like we're trying to really fix the offense, and we want an offensive-minded guy that can come in and change things offensively. But I feel like he's similar to what Kevin used to run. I don't know what this new stuff is that they've been running for the past 2 years. Ever since the AVP got fired thing and they switched to the shot, I don't know what that is. That is not the Kevin Stefanski system that worked. I don't know why. I know why they changed it. They should have never did that, but that's what ultimately led to this offense looking as bad as it does.
Plus the talent.
Plus the talent. Plus the talent as well.
Or the lack of.
I just feel like with Mike McDaniel, it's going to be a lot of which, I mean, they were successful here when they did do that, but according to Mike, he wanted the quarterback to throw to a spot, and that's just not Deshaun or Shador.
Another thing about McDaniel is, like, I like in theory the idea of a second-time head coach, but I like that better when that coach has had a chance to sit for a year and say, what did I do wrong? Like, that's part of the reason I like Flores, besides the fact that he's an ass kicker, is that he's had a couple of years to sit back and say, okay, here's what the mistakes that I made. Now I'm ready to go for my second job, and I'm going to learn from those mistakes. I feel like that's harder to do if you get fired and then hired 2 weeks later.
I feel like for Mike McDaniel, the best thing that can happen to him is he takes the OC job for the Lions.
That would be good. Right. And then next year, he gets hired again.
Because you'll have the talent. You'll show that, I can do all these things with this great offense, but you're under Dan Campbell. So you'll see how Dan Campbell's running things, and you'll take a little bit of it. So now you got Kyle Shanahan, how he ran things, and then you can mix that with Dan Campbell, how he run things.
Exactly.
Mix it up, and now you create your own culture. And I think that would be great for his career.
I think you're right. I think you're right on with that. I agree.
I was asking somebody the other day who he thought someone in the NFL who he thought the Browns were going to hire, and the response was, "Who do I think they should hire, or who do I think they're going to hire?"
So what was it? Did you ask him for both?
Yeah, who he thought they should hire was Shieldhouse.
Really?
From the Rams.
He's so young. He's not.
He's 35 and has a lot and experience.
Yeah, it's not like
Is that the dude from Iowa State?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
he's been okay.
And
Shieldhouse he should hire.
And who they will hire?
Jim Schwartz.
McDaniel.
Oh.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know that McDaniel and Jim Schwartz would be a happy marriage. Like, we'll see.
Feels like an odd couple in terms
We'll
of
see.
Yeah, I mean, if you're honestly, if I'm Jim Schwartz and they hire Mike McDaniel, I want to go. I want to get out of here. I don't want to stick around.
I'm curious to see. Like, for 6 years, there was no None of the stuff that we're used to hearing with the Browns about power struggles and all.
Right,
There was none of that.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's wait and see.
Yeah, all right, Shieldhouse. We haven't discussed him much at all.
Well, he's still coaching, so they haven't really had a chance to request an interview.
Right, interesting.
We will, because the Browns have reportedly been interested in bringing him in for an interview, but until he actually can be interviewed, it's not worth it.
The same guy that told me that is the guy who told me they will look at Grant Udinski, because I told you last week Udinski was on the list, and then he came in. So,
but he likes Shieldhouse has been coaching longer than Udinski.
Yeah.
And he's the Rams passing game coordinator, correct?
Rams passing game coordinator, was the OC at Iowa State and called plays at Iowa State for 2 years, was at Iowa State during the whole Brock Purdy era, was a 4-star quarterback coming out of high school when he was playing.
Yeah.
Had a relatively innocuous
I think I butchered his name
What
on
is
Monday.
what is his ethnicity?
I don't know.
You gonna ask me that on the fly? Like
I don't know. Who the hell knows?
Well, I butchered his name on Mike. Really butchered his name.
I double butchered.
And then I tried correcting him, and I butchered it. So Ken called me, mocking me, that I totally butchered the guy's name.
I mean,
I'm like,
Ken's
hey,
never screwed up a name before?
I'm a writer, man. I'm a writer.
Yeah.
I got it. Just so I spell it right.
Just listen to. Have you heard the clip of?
But it is Shieldhouse.
Of Mike Francesa and Mad Dog Russo trying to pronounce Jackson Smith and Jigba?
It's incredible.
Go find that audio.
It is incredible.
Oh my God.
Let's get to our next topic. GBush just walked in and left, so we'll bring G out in a second. He was here, now he's not.
I know, I heard the
Probably
door.
got to go to the bathroom.
Well, there he is. G, you ready? Let's bring G out. While G's getting ready, a reminder to check out the latest episode of the Ultimate 216 show. Cecil and Earl the Pearl ranked some of the head coaching openings. They talked about some mock drafts for the Browns, all that stuff. It's on our YouTube page. Make sure you head over to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show YouTube page to find all of the Ultimate 216 shows, all the Ultimate Guardians, Ultimate Cavs, Ultimate Browns, anything extra we got going on. It is posted, lives on our YouTube page forever. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to keep talking until G's get his mic on and he's IF beat up. So let's just keep going. Yeah, hit the like button.
Yeah.
Show
Mike,
your support.
we never addressed the fact that stunning, I guess it's not stunning. It is stunning. It would be stunning to any other fan base, but because every fan base is homerish, you did a poll yesterday. And
we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
We will get to that.
We are getting to that?
Because when Zach Jackson joined us.
Is that what was in our text thread?
Yes. I'm going to ask Zach Jackson about it when Zach joins us, but I want to make sure we get this topic in. G's mic'd up. So, Steve,
Zach laugh, huh?
Let's get to this topic. We talked about candidates that we know the Browns have interviewed. Candidates who they want to interview who can't yet. What's up, G-Bush?
What's up? How y'all doing, man? How y'all
but
doing, fellas?
Chris Shula is the Rams defensive coordinator, and although the Browns can't officially request an interview, Mary Kay Cabot tweeted out yesterday that they are officially interested in bringing Chris Shula in for an official interview whenever the Rams are done playing this season. They obviously play the Bears in the NFC divisional round games this weekend. If you don't know who Shula is, he's the current defensive coordinator for the Rams. He's been on the Rams staff since 2017. He's 39 years old. He played linebacker at Miami of Ohio when Sean McVay was there, so they've been teammates and friends for over a decade now. And, Bo, I don't know how much you know about Shula, or Tyvis, how much you know about Shula, Jason G, how you know him specifically. But we've talked
I know
about
he's coming from a football coaching family.
We've talked about
Some
guys
good, some
earlier
bad.
this week, Udinski being one of them, who is 30, not a ton of experience, and your hesitations on that. Does a guy like Shula with a resume of one like him, 39 years old, been in the league and with an NFL team since 2017, been the defensive coordinator for longer than a year, combine what you know with Shula and take the resume into consideration, is that more of the resume that would fit what you think the Browns actually need?
I mean, like I said yesterday, ultimately, whoever the Browns hire, I'm going to give them a chance.
Of course.
I'm not going to write it off right away. You know,
Not for at least 6 months.
Yeah, right. But, yeah, I mean, Shula's resume is a little better than I get it. Everybody saw a YouTube video of Udinski talking about football, and he's a genius, and so now you're convinced he's the next Sean McVay. I just think about, folks, if you're at least 40 years old, think about where, and I'll bring it back to Chris Shula, but think about like what you were like at 30 and then what you were like at 40. I mean, I just don't understand how a 30-year-old with only really 3 seasons of coaching experience in the NFL and one as a coordinator where he didn't call plays how could that guy be a leader of men? I think that's so unlikely at 30 years old with that little experience. And if I'm Myles Garrett and they hire a guy to be the head coach that's younger than me, I'm like, what are we doing here? That being said, even with him, and that's, again, no knock at him at all. I just don't see how a guy that young, that little experience. Now, Shula's 10 years older.
What if they did that to bring him in to be the OC?
Fine. I got no problem with it. The guy seems like he's a tremendous up-and-coming coach. I just don't know how you could argue that this is all like projecting, right? Like, no matter who even Harbaugh, who besides Tomlin, we'll leave Tomlin out of it because we assume he's not going to coach next year. So besides Tomlin, Harbaugh was clearly the top candidate, right? Mm-hmm. Is it a short thing he's going to have success with the Giants?
No.
Of course not.
It's not a short thing anybody.
How many times have we seen a coach, look with Pete Carroll, it was great in Seattle. 1 year in the Raiders, total disaster.
We knew that.
We've seen this, John Gruden with the Raiders, second time around. Total disaster. We've seen it. Mike Holmgren here, I know he wasn't coaching, but total disaster. Just because, so it's all a guessing game. It's all playing the odds. And to me, the odds of a 30-year-old with that little experience being a successful head coach for an organization that's mostly been a failure is just ridiculously low, as opposed to somebody with more experience. It doesn't mean it couldn't happen. And Chris Shula has more experience. So yeah, on paper, Chris Shula seems to make more sense than Grant Udinsky. Doesn't mean he's definitely better. It just means on paper he's better.
I mean, I look at it. He's a defensive coordinator, and you got a defensive coordinator that's here. So,
you can't let that factor into who you're hiring.
Well, no, I'm talking about in respect to defensive-minded head coaches. So if you're looking at the defensive-minded head coaches, I think he's a DC with the Rams, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to hire or you're going to take a good look at this Chris Shula guy, I think you also have to take that and compare his resume to a guy in Jim Schwartz who was already here. So if you're like, okay, I don't know whether or not this guy could be a leader of men because of his age. I don't know if he's going to be a good fit. And I don't know how well he's going to get along with the players. And obviously, if they do take him or whichever one of these guys could turn out to be something, if the Browns take him, you'll give them an opportunity to prove themselves. It's just that at this point, you have to ask yourself as the Cleveland Browns, can I afford at this juncture of our organization, can I afford to bring a guy in that does not have extensive background in terms of head coaching, play calling, and just the age gap? So I don't think that you're going to be automatically terrible because you're your young coach. As a matter of fact, I think if you're a younger coach, you may be able to come in with a fresh set of eyes and be refreshing because you're more moldable. You're still really excited, learning different things, and you may be able to bring a different freshness to the table. However, if you're the Cleveland Browns and you have a roster where the general manager is under pressure to win, you have a guy like Myles Garrett in the defense and guys that have been successful, you have a little bit of pressure on you to say, okay, he may be good somewhere, he may be a great coach in 5 years, but can I afford to take a swing on a coach at this time in the juncture where we at and have him flame out or not be it?
I will say, guys, before you jump in, that alone is part of the reason why they should have fired Andrew Berry, by the way. Because if Andrew Berry is making this decision and he's going to lean towards a more experienced coach just because he's afraid of getting fired, that's a bad way to hire people.
No, he's leaning towards an experienced head coach because he feels it gives him a better opportunity to win football games.
It may be the case. Yes, but doesn't always work out that way.
I don't think he's hiring a head coach trying to not get fired, but I think this is probably his one chance to lead.
Yes.
But at the same time, owners almost always pick the coach. Listen to, did you hear Bisciotti?
Yeah.
Bisciotti's like, what do you say? Lamar has influence, but not power.
Yeah.
This is my call. He made no, and I was so refreshing to hear an owner.
He's very honest, that guy.
And that's part of the reason he never talks, is because he always, every time he talks,
Jimmy
he gets in
is
trouble.
pretty honest too.
He is. When you're a billionaire, who's gonna yell at you? Do whatever you want.
His team.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we can rip him all the way. It's still his team.
But the coach almost always picks the head. The owner almost always picks the head coach.
Yes.
Almost always.
Right.
So you can be the GM and you can lead the search, It's the owner's call.
He's going to make the final
time.
say.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
the one
you're
writing
right.
the check.
It's a good point.
So-
Tyvis, what do you got? What are your thoughts on Chris Shula? Both of you guys.
My only thing is whoever they hire, they need to make sure that they get the respect of the players. I just think when I think about the Browns, I just think they lack people that hold them accountable, And I'm not talking about just like on the field. I'm talking about off the field as well, like practice habits and stuff like that, like falling asleep in meetings, like and stuff. Like I just you got to be able to have a coach that's like, we ain't doing that here. That can nip that in. Like a guy that can step to Myles Garrett. Like if Myles Garrett was the one doing it, like step to Myles and make Myles say, "You right, I'm wrong," and that don't happen. And the thing is, like Mike McDaniel, he wouldn't get that
He's
done
not doing
because
that.
Tua just stood up there and told you we having a meeting and nobody shows up to the meeting or show up late to the meeting.
Yeah.
So like that wouldn't work. Like this is basically everybody's gonna be a free fall. So it has to be a respectable figure that can get the respect of the players that's gonna fall in line. And that's, to me, like if Chris Shula's that guy, great. If Jim Schwartz is that guy, great. Like that's what I'm saying. Like to me, that's why when I hear some of these names, it's like the first thing I think about is, does Myles Garrett respect that guy, or is Myles going to really test the waters with that guy?
And that's why, Tyvis, honestly, of the coaches that have coached before, Brian Flores is the only guy I feel that
I
way
agree.
about. And the Browns are
it's not going to
talking
happen.
He's the exception. He's not the norm.
I
in
know.
Coaches today.
I know.
Okay, but I agree with everything you said, everything you just said. But here's why. These are grown men. Why can't grown men hold themselves accountable?
You're
and be
right. They
professionals?
should.
I agree with you on that.
But the Browns don't have good.
They do not
Player
have
leaders.
good veteran
if they
leadership.
letting me get away with it,
That's just human nature. That when you got 53 people in the locker room, everybody not going to do the right thing. It's just humans in general.
True,
It's
but
just-
if you have a good, and let's face it, the quarterback in most cases has got to be the leader. And if whether Shador ends up being good or not, he's a rookie, and he was not playing for most of the year, so there's no way you can expect him to lead yet. It doesn't matter. Like Peyton Manning was holding people accountable. Tom Brady was holding people accountable. Mahomes is holding people accountable. You got to do that. Guys like that, and so the players do have to lead to some degree.
It's not a good locker room full of great veteran leaders. Like it's just not.
yeah, the team's going to be fairly young next year. So that it's got to come from the coach sets the culture, the players execute it out.
Couple things. Mike wants to move on. I think you're being
Yeah.
too hard on Udinski just because of his age. I don't think you should hold it against him.
It's more his lack of experience than his age.
It would not be my first choice,
Yeah.
I don't think. But I wouldn't get hung up on. I mean, half the roster is going to be first and second year players next year. So and in terms of Shula, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know that the Rams run a traditional 3-4 or 4-3.
I can't think of it off the top.
yeah.
I feel like it's a 4.
It's a hybrid.
I would call it more of a base 3-4.
Yeah.
Which is not what they've run here. And again, like you're trying to run a system around Miles, right?
Yeah.
Like you're trying to fit
Yeah,
Miles with anything that you run. And Shula and Jim Schwartz together is not happening.
No.
So if Schwartz is the head coach, you're moving on. I'm sorry, if Shula's the head coach, you're moving on from Schwartz.
Right.
And if you really want Jim Schwartz here bad enough, just make him the head coach. What are we doing?
That's it.
Just make him the head
about a week
coach.
now.
Because if you try and crowbar him into somebody else's, I don't like how the odds of that working out.
Now, last thing I'll say, we'll get to Zach. If you do hire a Grant Udinski, if you do hire a Nate Shieldhouse, those guys might be like the idea of Jim Schwartz being a DC.
Yeah,
a
and
young
that's fine.
offense, which is fine.
But you got to also make sure Jim likes the idea of the head coach.
100%. He may be like, I'm not holding
doing
their
this.
hand. Forget this. I'm going somewhere else. All right, let's bring in Zach Jackson.
Yeah, we got Zach Jackson. A quick reminder to make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us on all of our social media platforms. You can find us on X, on Instagram, on TikTok for some behind-the-scenes content you don't get between the hours of 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. And with that, Zach Jackson joins us, and I have a question for Zach off the top. Zach, we did a poll yesterday. We discussed ranking of the most attractive head coach openings, specifically in the AFC North between Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. Bull and the people on the panel yesterday said it's a no-brainer. Pittsburgh was more attractive. We had over 2,000 votes in the chat. And
Pittsburgh versus just Cleveland.
Just
You
Pittsburgh
mentioned
versus
Baltimore.
Cleveland. Yeah.
Obviously, Baltimore's the most attractive.
So which was more attractive between Pittsburgh and Cleveland? Of over 2,000 votes, 53% of people said Cleveland was more attractive of a head coach opening than Pittsburgh. Would you agree with the chat, or do you agree with Bull?
On the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, that was the answer. That's stunning. Historically, Pittsburgh's obviously a better job. Right now, I think there's some similarities. right? Pittsburgh's got no quarterback.
Talk your stuff, Zach. That's what I'm talking about.
Got an old defense and got some money issues they got to confront. Now they have a better offensive line situation, right? And they probably have more stability to offer. I mean, I don't think the GM's going anywhere unless he continues to fail on offense, if this all sounds familiar. So I think it's similar. In Pittsburgh, you have the standard of you have to have a winning record every year. And you look around the division, you should think that you can. Here in Cleveland, I really think that this is trending towards embracing the full-scale rebuild. I think mid-27 is the next time we're going to get a real feel on where the Browns are. A lot of time to go, a lot of key decisions in paving that. But if we're being honest about this coaching search and about the state of things, then this team is, as Jason just mentioned, mostly first and second year players, no answers at key positions, and no way to fix this offense in 1 year. 2027 and beyond is what we're looking at for the Browns.
And people say I'm negative.
Yeah. Well, but Zach said Zach said the Browns' job is not.
No, he's telling the truth. Zach's telling the truth. I'm just having fun.
Right. No. But are you saying the Browns' job is as good as the Steelers' job?
I think it's close. I think it's close right now for sure.
I just think,
look, listen.
Yeah.
If there's three good candidates, Bull, if it's Shula and two other guys, I think they'll pick Pittsburgh. But I don't know. I don't know these guys. I don't know what they think.
Right.
Just historically, you would pick Pittsburgh.
Right.
Stability-wise,
One team has won 20 games and gone to the playoffs the last 2 years. The other team's won 8.
I think that's ultimately the difference. You're right. Like, the Steelers' job is not what it's always been, of course, right now, because I don't think they're that talented. But you have, there's more stability there. You go there and you're not getting fired right away. They don't, the owner doesn't meddle in the same way. And so ultimately, I would think any coach that had a choice between the two would choose Pittsburgh. And so to me, that's why it's the better job. But yeah, I agree the gap's not as big as it used to be, of course. But still, I just can't see an argument for why anybody would take this job over that. I think you got to do a lot of work before you could change people's minds on that.
I totally agree. I mean, I just think Pittsburgh historically, where they've hired, it's been a guy in his 30s who hasn't been a head coach before. I think they have a lot to sell Chris Shula, if for example, if that's the guy they want to go. So we'll see. He's an interesting one. You guys were talking about the defensive fronts and the way he's done things. In his time, McVay's his buddy from college, and that's how he got hired there. But he worked under 3 different defensive coordinators before he came the coordinator himself. And when he took over 2 years ago, it was right after Aaron Donald retired. So I think they had their defensive line rotation. 6 were first and second year players. So he's done it different ways. He's kind of seen it all. He is that developmental guy. I don't know if the Browns want to or can hire a defensive coach, but of the 10 guys on their dance card, he's the one that really jumps off the page to me. Now, is he going to consider the Browns, or do the Browns want to hire a defensive coach? I tend to lean towards no in both of those answers.
Let me ask you about this, Zach, because you just mentioned all of the negative things about Cleveland. Why would a coach take the job then? If it's no money and
you have no other options.
No good, forget all that option stuff. If you're my first year head coach, it's gonna be my first time. If I'm only getting 2 years, he just said 27 is mid-27 is the next time you can even expect anything. So again, you 1 year in the hole already to start. And you only
you're signing a deal for 5 or 6 years, Tyvis. That's fully guaranteed, by the way, and top of the market. But I've asked this question, or it's come up in discussions, and what people have told me is that unless you're Ben Johnson, you don't turn this down, right? You believe in yourself. If you get to the point where they want you and you want them, then you make the bet on yourself and on them and on getting the right staff and on having the timeline to do the right things. So, like I said, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to be real here. And I think as the Browns get to a point here, especially if some of these other guys come off the board, they might be looking at these younger guys and saying, hey, what's it look like in a year? This quarterback situation is awful. It can be better in a year. This offensive line situation is awful. It almost has to be better in a year. And so if you think you're going to have another good draft class, if you think you really don't have an answer in the quarterback spot right now, and you probably don't, then the reality is you're looking down the road. So if you want to go with a young coach in that way and let him grow into the role, that's fine. And just because you didn't get Harbaugh or didn't get Chris Shula, the names that people know, that doesn't mean you lost the search or that it's a hopeless situation. You can look at it that way, but it doesn't have to be that at all.
Zach, I ask these guys all the time. We do it after every game, every day when we do the show. I say, look, all right, give me a percentage of who you think will be the quarterback what would you make the percentage of Jim Schwartz versus the rest of the field? Who would you say has a better chance of, or higher percentage chance of actually becoming a coach?
Rest of the field. Now, I think Schwartz has a realistic possibility if enough of these guys pass, or if they just don't end up liking some of these young guys. But the way I understand it is they're leaning towards these young guys because they like them, but they think they're more likely to keep Schwartz as defensive coordinator, and they want to keep this defensive together. Now, going forward, is keeping Myles Garrett happy as important as fixing this offense? No. Is keeping this defense together as good as it is and as good as some of these pieces are more important than finding the right offensive pieces? It's absolutely not. So I do think there's a scenario where Schwartz is the head coach here, Garrett, but I think that's pretty far down the list. So picking the field or Schwartz is an easy answer. And I put Schwartz maybe 4th or 5th, just on my feel of this situation right now.
Do you think they know who they want?
I don't think they know right now, Jason. I don't think they know because there's too many openings and because there's too many guys they haven't formally met with. So what it comes down to for me, and this is not an especially profound thought, but it's the simplest way I can say it. If you really want Udinski or Shieldhouse or pitcher because you really believe in those guys and the goal of this is to find your own McVay or Shanahan, then that's a fine goal, frankly, then you do it. But if you end up with one of those guys because you got turned down 2 or 3 times or because those are the only guys that would stick with Schwartz or stick with other things you want, then you've got bad dynamics from the start. And that's the story of this organization and specifically of this regime, bad dynamics, right? Since 2022. They've had no leadership. They've had a mess at quarterback situation. They've had a he said, she said. And they can come out and say it's not dysfunctional all they want. That's great. They won 8 games in 2 years. They have an awful, awful offense. So, that's what it is. So, I think Mike McDaniel is a leading offensive candidate. Obviously, he's the most experienced. He's won. He's done it. He's been here before. I think pitcher's next in that line. But I don't think they know right now because they haven't met with these guys and they don't know realistically when they call back to do the couple of finalists or to talk about, okay, we want you. What are the next steps with the coordinators with building this thing? To me, there's no guarantee they'd be on the same page at this stage. A week from now, yes. Right now, I would lean towards no on that answer.
When you look at this list of head coaches that Mike keeps flashing, is there anybody on that list that you'll say, you know what, those guys can come in and get the respect of the players right away, like the Myles Garretts? Because I just think that they need somebody that can hold players accountable, so you don't hear about the off-the-field stuff, that the pre-snap penalties and stuff like that. Is there a name out there that you're like, you know what, that guy could come in and get that done? Can change that.
Yeah, that's a hard one, Tyvis, because you would expect that guys do that, and that's why I'm kind of surprised that I don't see Robert Saleh on this list, considering he's been a head coach before and it was the Jets and he knows messes, right? So maybe he will end up among that group. I always thought they might lean towards experience as a head coach, and so far it's only Schwartz and McDaniel of the 10, right? And then you have guys like people are like, well, Dan Pitcher, he's not even 40 and he hasn't ever called plays. Well, he's been in the NFL longer than Shieldhouse and Udinski have been combined. So I think there's guesswork, and I think it's a fine question, Tyvis. I think it's guesswork, and I think it really comes down to the leaders on the team deciding they want to do that, and it really comes down to going forward, establishing that quarterback who everybody follows, and the locker room sorting itself from there.
This team kind of has a history of coming back a second time around. They interviewed Kevin the first time, didn't take him. Took him the second time around. You mentioned Saleh. We've spent 0 time talking about him.
I like the idea of Saleh.
They haven't requested an interview
But
yet. So
I'd rather have Saleh than McDaniel.
But I'm wondering when the 49ers are done, so I guess 2 ways to put it. 1, do you think Saleh could still be in play? And 2, are there still more names to come as teams get eliminated?
Bring my DC back to Cleveland.
So
because Saleh, I should finish that point. Saleh was runner-up to Stefanski the last time. That's why I mentioned it.
Yeah.
And Saleh's Saleh's interviewing with the Dolphins today. So now that it's out of the first round, these guys still in the playoffs can't interview. He's interviewing with the Dolphins today for their head coach spot.
So with Saleh and Kubiak and Halfley to an extent, are they not on the list because the Browns, want an offensive guy or don't want to go that way? Or are they not on the list because it was passed along like, don't bother, we got something lined up? That's a valid question. So I think, Jason, there's probably a stronger chance than not that these are the 10. Obviously, you can scratch a few. Monken, probably dirty, right? and you go from there. So is there a surprise college candidate? I don't think there is. Does something change next week as other jobs get filled? So I think there's a strong chance that it comes from this group of 10, but I wouldn't close that door until we get into next week and start to get more clarity, not just on the Browns job, but on other jobs.
Zach, is there a guy on the list where you look at it and you'd be like, ooh, I don't know about this one. Like just more reservations with a candidate than the other ones? Because for me, I'm pretty open book. I don't have no inside information of what they're going to do, how they want to move with it. I'm just sitting here watching it, kind of. But do you have a gut feeling on somebody on the list where you're like, I don't know about that one?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple that I never believed. I think I already, mentioned those guys.
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing they would actually hire Shieldhouse 2 years in the NFL and 35, or Grant Udinski just turned 30 the other day. I have a hard time believing that. I'm not totally ruling it out. I think of the guys they've already interviewed, I think it goes McDaniel pitcher. And then I think it's interesting. I don't consider Jesse Minter a candidate. I think he'll have better options, and his defensive philosophy is totally different than what they have here. But it really comes down to, what kind of timeline they're on. Are they really forcing Jim Schwartz, or is that optional? And then what are the dynamics of the whole thing? So I don't think ultimately that any of these guys outside of Shula and potentially McDaniel might tell them no. I mean, my holdup with McDaniel is that he's only getting one more chance here. Yep. So it's not just, do I want to use it on the Browns, but does he want to jump right back in when he has an offensive coordinator opportunity? I mean, the guy's a proven offensive coordinator, and given his experience as a head coach and with successful offenses, of course you want to talk to him. Of course you got him on the list. But where is he in his career, and what does he really think about this versus his other options? We don't know that right now.
Yeah, Tyvis said earlier he should go to the Lions as an OC. I think Tyvis is right. That'd be a perfect fit for him.
Yeah, there's going to, when there's still 8 jobs open, that means there's 8 offensive coordinator jobs open too.
Yep.
And he's just like Kevin Stefanski, he's getting paid. He can wait. He can wait it out. He doesn't need to jump in just to say he jumped in.
Zach, when you look at some of these guys that they brought in for head coaching opportunities, do you think that possibly it's not for head coaches, just for a coordinator position? Like some of these OCs?
Yeah, I think Shieldhouse is going to be somebody's. Yeah, I think Shieldhouse is going to be somebody's offensive coordinator next year. That probably is wherever Chris Shula lands, but we'll see. Udinski has a coordinator job. Pitcher has a coordinator job. So is that potentially lining up for a certain way and in certain movement? Yes, it could be. And so that's why I'm not completely convinced that this is the list, but this is probably the list. I always would have stacked them, Shula and Hafley and Saleh kind of at the top. 2 of those guys have some head coach experience. And the way I stack them now is McDaniel, pitcher, and then let's see what happens with Shula and Shieldhouse.
Zach,
No, go ahead.
We haven't really kind of talked about this. Dante Moore goes back to school. It looks like Mendoza is the first pick. Ty Simpson is still in this draft. Do you think people will now, or there's a chance they pivot to some of the retreads? We've heard Malik Willis. We've heard
Mac Jones.
Guys like that who they can bring in. Or do you feel like this is going to be a room where, I guess, all 3 of the guys in Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders, and Dylan Gabriel will comprise mainly of the quarterback room in 2026? Or do you think they'll do something like maybe get a retread or draft somebody in the later round?
Well, the thought that you'd get Malik Willis on 1 year, $12 million, give him a shot is long gone. The market says he's going to get more money and more years from somebody. I don't know that the Browns are in that position right now. I'm trending towards Shedeur kind of having first crack at this job by default. And the other thing is, guys, and I'm prepared to be wrong. I mean, I've been right so many times, I've been getting tired of it. So I'm kind of glad I'm wrong on this, except for one thing. Here, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but doesn't this feel like it's setting up for them to get somebody to give Deshaun Watson one more chance?
Yes.
If Mike McDaniel's the coach here, doesn't it feel like that? And doesn't it make you just want to rip your microphone off and beat your head into that glass table in front of you right now? Yes.
To that point, Dolphins had a deal basically done with Houston before the allegations were settled.
That's when Flores was the coach there.
That was when Flores was?
Yeah.
That was with Flores, yes.
Okay.
Right.
Well, by the time the trade was actually made, McDaniel was the coach there.
Miami was in on him.
So,
I don't remember now the timing of who was the coach.
That
But
was
Miami,
a thing that was rumored, and then it was dispelled later, I think. But
I don't know.
yeah,
At the
I
very
mean,
least, it's set up for Deshaun Watson to be part of a competition.
absolutely. It's just a numbers game, Bull, right?
Yeah.
It's just a numbers game. And this is a team that every year has to play 3 quarterbacks. And like the one guy that we know, barring something sensible and just getting rid of him, which they can't do because they've done this to themselves, is that he's going to get an opportunity. And so people are like, well, what's wrong with him as a bridge quarterback? It's a bridge to nowhere. He can't play.
You done made a lot.
Small hands.
You done made a lot of people upset, man. So Shedeur Sanders is quarterback number 1, and Deshaun Watson is the backup. Heading in
Yeah, so how does that
2026.
change? I will say the way that changes is if it's a trade for Mac Jones, and I do see that as a somewhat realistic possibility. Now, right here in mid-January, I'm not ready to say how realistic, but the options are going to be few, and I just see it pointing that direction. Now, you can't – even if I was more certain, like we don't know who the coach is going to be or the coordinator, right? We don't know what any of those discussions are about. But right now, I think if they were going out to starting training camp tomorrow instead of starting phase 3 of their coach search, to me, there's no question that he would be the starting quarterback. I think they'll trade Dylan Gabriel for nothing. It will be Shedeur, Deshaun, and a rookie.
Drew Aller.
Yeah, it might be Nussmeier, it might be Aller, it might be this Robertson from Baylor. Like this whole part of it is just starting.
Yeah. Zach, great stuff as always, man. We'll talk to you again soon. Well, I'll talk to you tomorrow on the podcast, but
Appreciate
we'll
you.
talk to you later.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks,
See you, buddy.
That was Zach Jackson, and that was a great question because it leads us right into the topic we were getting to next. We'll get to our version of that discussion after a quick word from FanDuel, guys. FanDuel is the official sportsbook partner of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, and FanDuel is in playoff mode just like you should be. Every game day during the NFL playoffs, FanDuel is giving customers more ways to get in on the action, and right now, every NFL playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost pack waiting for them inside the app. You make your picks like usual, then apply your profit boost to go after even bigger payouts while your playoffs games get rolling. Just visit FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every single NFL playoff game day. G, you just alluded to it, but Dante Moore is returning to college, which means that there are very limited options at the top of the draft for teams in need of a quarterback. So with the news that Dante Moore is out, that could slide Ty Simpson up into the number 2 spot if the Jets are desperate for a quarterback. He could fall, who knows? But it takes one pawn off the chessboard. So I had you guys make predictions of what you believe the Browns quarterback room will look like in 2026. We have Deshaun Watson on the board. We have Shedeur Sanders. There's Dylan Gabriel. There's insert rookie X. There's insert free agent or trade partner X. So guys, and Tyvis, I want to start with you because you haven't started on a topic today. What do you think the Browns quarterback room will look like in 2026?
I do believe Shedeur will be here. I do believe Deshaun Watson will be here. I think those two are guarantees. I'm with Zach. I think that they've seen enough of Dylan, and I think that they probably will move on. I personally would get a veteran quarterback in there just for the competition because maybe not, though. Maybe not.
But if you believe Watson's going to be part of the competition, then why do you
there's
need a
just no
veteran?
point in that. That's what.
I mean, they could bring in 2, and then we could go on 4 fields again, 4 quarterbacks, and that worked out so well the last time.
They could sign
Fire.
Andy Dalton.
No, I
and-
think if they are going to keep Deshaun, you don't need to bring a vet in because he is the vet in the room, and him and Shedeur got a good relationship. So I think you keep those 2 guys. I know how, as a media guy, how much of a distraction and how much the off-field antics play into covering the Browns and all of those things. But I think that you got to give it another year. I think that they will draft some rookie. I think the Drew Aller thing is one of those. If you take him in the 4th or 5th round or something like that, like you might. Because he's got the measurables. He's got the big, strong arm. He can be able to play in the weather conditions in this. So if you want to go there, that's fine. John Mateer to me is like a poor man's Baker Mayfield. Carson Beck don't have the arm. Trinidad Chambliss is the guy that could be interesting. But I think you have to take him in like the 3rd round or something like that. And I don't. You got bigger fish to fry right now in that situation. So I think the Drew Aller thing is probably. If I was doing it, I'd take him in like the 4th or 5th round.
We talked about the teams that are left and where they got their quarterback, right? Like, we've talked about that at length, I think.
Of the 8 teams left, 7 of the 8 quarterbacks were drafted with the 12th overall pick or higher. And the 8th was the Mr. Irrelevant.
Now, it's sort of like the Nick Chubb 20 carries thing, right? Just because you take a quarterback up there, doesn't you can't.
Of course not.
Just then take Ty Simpson.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
so
right.
you can't. Yes. But it is funny to me that only the Browns. We already talked about. Only twice in 25 years have they taken a quarterback in the top 20. The team that can't find a quarterback anywhere, that's tried to do it the unconventional way for 26 years now and hasn't had any luck doing it. Everybody else takes quarterback at the top of the draft and figures that out, and off we go. And they had Baker and whatever. But only the Browns, twice in 25 years have they taken a quarterback in the top 20. They have now had the 2nd pick and the 6th pick in consecutive drafts. Desperate need for a quarterback. Only with this team would they not take a quarterback in either.
This year, it seems to make sense not to take.
But I'm just saying, regardless of circumstance, they have the 2nd pick and the 6th pick. History has proven you find your quarterback at the top of the draft. Only these with the way the drafts fall, whatever.
Yeah. Last year they should have took Jackson Dart
or Tyler Shook. They should have taken one of them.
And that's
how it feels right now.
But that goes back to the point I was making earlier when you were talking about Jackson Dart, and I said, remember this because last year. I kept saying, they got the 2nd pick in a 1 quarterback draft because that's how they were acting. That's how they were behaving. They missed on 2 quarterbacks they could have taken that now both of those teams that have them love them. They love those guys.
Yes. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to end up being great.
It doesn't mean they're going to end up being great.
Right now, you feel good about them.
John Harbaugh's in New York partly because of Jackson Dart.
100%.
And he's not.
And Tyler Shook played well with a team that's not very talented.
So, but again, what did I said all last year? I am paying you for your evaluation. I don't care what anybody else says. Their evaluation was Jackson Dart and Tyler Shook are not worth it. And you kept them. You kept the GM who told you Tyler Shook and Jackson Dart are not worth it. And now here you go again. Because I said, trade down, get your quarterback next year. And you were right. And I told you, it's all a calculation. It's all based on odds.
Right.
And the odds that you would have these 2 lousy quarterback drafts back to back like this, doesn't happen very often, but here we are.
Yeah.
So now they're stuck in this position. I have no idea what they're going to do.
You know, it's interesting. I looked at
they don't know what they're going to do.
I was looking at a mock draft since the Dante Moore came out, and a lot of people don't have the Jets taking a quarterback.
No, because it doesn't seem like anybody's worth taking.
Yeah, they got the Jets taking Arvell Reese now.
I saw one draft where they have him taking. Oh God, I forgot his name. The other Buckeye.
Caleb Down?
Caleb,
but again, this is nobody was saying take Jackson Dart in the top 5 last year. Nobody was saying that.
No, we weren't
top
saying
10.
That.
Nobody was saying
nope.
Now you got to let the Senior Bowl and stuff play out.
We got a long way to go.
Yeah.
We got
As
a long
of right
way to
now,
go.
And that's even worse because he was at the Senior Bowl. What?
They had him all week.
And wasn't Bubba
that's
Ventrone?
even worse.
Bubba coached them all week.
I'll tell you, if I, based on the information I have, right? I'm not a scout. I don't look at these quarterbacks, and I'm not sure that one of these long shots is going to be any good. So if we're up to me right now, my quarterback room would be Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson. Well, no, I'm sorry. If we're up to me, Deshaun Watson would be gone. If we're up to me,
they could do it. They could figure that out.
It would be Shedeur Sanders, a veteran out there, not Deshaun Watson, and then whatever. Bailey Zappi is my 3rd guy. But what the Browns should do, since I think they're not going to cut Watson, is they should just go. They should get rid of Dylan Gabriel. There's no point in being. I'm sure he'd love to be gone.
For sure.
So trade Dylan Gabriel for a 7th round pick, or cut him. I don't even care.
Dang.
I don't understand the cut Dylan Gabriel
I don't understand the
conversation.
cut it either.
I don't. Why?
Do him a favor.
He's a backup guy.
We ain't doing that. League ain't no favor.
Browns do favors all the time.
We spent a top 100 pick on him.
Well, they blew it. They blew it. Blew it. So trade him. Whatever.
So
I'm just saying what I would do. I would trade him.
What is the downside of keeping him?
Nothing. Nothing.
They could keep him fine. I would just. If they keep him, whatever. I would start Shedeur Sanders next year, and I'm obviously not as convinced as you are that he's the answer, but I just don't see a clear better option. I don't think they should draft a quarterback late in this draft. You did that with Shedeur.
Why not?
Shedeur's got more upside than any of these guys you're going to draft, so give him a chance.
You know why?
If he stinks, if Shedeur stinks, if he's the worst, then they're going to have a high pick next year.
I agree with that. But look, the reason why I was making this point earlier on my radio show, this league is at a point now where it's like, I need the results now. At the quarterback position, it has to be now. And I just don't think that that's where we are anymore. I think it takes guys 2 to 3 years to really figure it out. So I would draft a Drew Aller in the 4th or 5th round, a guy who, again, got the measurables, got the strong arm. Right. I just don't think at Penn State, they taught him the game. He does not see coverage well, but I think he has all the intangibles to be a good quarterback once you teach him how to play quarterback.
Right, but Tyvis,
so he would be my experimental quarterback, exactly what they thought Shedeur would be.
Right.
He wouldn't play at all this next season at all. It would be Shedeur and Deshaun.
But isn't Shedeur already my lottery ticket quarterback?
The difference between the two is one is actually going to be enforced into action. The other one is not playing at all.
But here's the thing.
I just want to have
First of all,
developmental
he would
guy
play because the Browns have to go through 4 quarterbacks every year.
Let's hope that's not the case.
Well, we thought Shedeur Sanders might not play. Like, people wanted him to, but if Dylan Gabriel hadn't gotten hurt, Shedeur Sanders wouldn't have played last year. He wouldn't have played, most likely.
He would be my guy that I would just sit there and let him just develop for a couple of years.
I get what you're saying.
That's why I would.
Here's why I wouldn't do it. The Browns have so many holes. They already spent 2 late picks on quarterbacks last year, one who's clearly no good and one we'll see. And now you're going to do it at how many late round quarterbacks? They've got to, at this point, I would give Shedeur Sanders a chance next year. If he swims, beautiful, problem solved. If he sinks or you're not sure after next year, then you figure it out next year. I don't think there's a clear, better answer, so I'm not going to waste draft picks when I need 1 million offensive linemen, I need 1 million wide receivers, I need depth at running. Like I got a ton of holes to fill. I can't spend another mid-round pick where I might be able to get a capable starting wide receiver or a third wide receiver or a capable guard.
That's worked for us.
It hasn't, but
So what's the difference? So what's
Berry.
The difference in what you're saying and what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Neither one of them has worked. But the difference between me and you is yours is going to be forced into action. Mine ain't touching it.
Well, but here's the thing.
And his is a more important position.
I get it, but here,
I don't care if Deshaun and Shedeur got hurt.
Listen,
I'm going to go get another quarterback. You're not playing.
I think that, I don't have a lot of faith in Andrew Berry, but if we're just going to assume because he screwed up wide receiver in the past that he's going to screw it up again, okay, then why bother? Don't take any receivers.
Well, I mean, this is why he shouldn't even be here to begin with. But that's
you agree with me on that? I thought
everybody agree with you.
No,
on that.
GBush didn't.
Oh well, G's different.
Xavier P did.
I think
Xavier P loves Andrew Berry.
G is in a situation where he's he just knows he gonna be here. He just accepted it.
Okay.
I don't think he truly wants him to be here, but I just know it is what it is at this point. And that's what he was saying at the end of the year. All right, it's just gonna be what it is.
You drafted a mid-round quarterback?
No.
See, he's with me. Nice.
Listen, let me tell you why. I go back on this. Can I get that list real quick, right fast? Let me get that
Which,
real quick.
you want the quarterback prospects?
Yeah, give me them prospects up there.
It's going to give me a sec.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to set that up. Listen, you take a look. You got Mendoza. Now, mind you, I always tell people, I do not have to sit up here and tell you Mendoza is garbage just to say I still believe in Shedeur Sanders. So you could do 2 things at once, right? So I think Mendoza goes to the Raiders. I think he's a good fit. I think he has a chance to be a good quarterback. But let me tell you about all the rest of these quarterbacks. Ty Simpson, Trinidad Shambliss, Drew Aller, Carson Beck, and John Mateer. They ain't better than Shedeur Sanders. Let's call a spade right now. I'm not inflating them. I done seen them. Ty Simpson looked nasty his last 3 or 4 games. Drew Aller ain't never been good. Not one time at Penn State, they kept waiting on him.
Yeah.
Drew Aller this year, didn't do nothing. Drew Aller again, didn't do nothing. He's nice, he's tall, he looks the part, he got a strong arm, but besides that, I can't give you his production. I can't give you the way he played in big games. I can't even give you the fact that this guy looks competent when he's playing against regular guys. Shedeur Sanders is better than all of those guys, right there. 2 through 6 is yet 2 through 6. He's better than all the
others. Who on this panel said he wasn't?
We speak it to the broader terms. Now, in terms of what's the quarterback room going to be? Well, little old GBush told you earlier about
Nothing
this.
little about you, my friend.
Yeah, little old GBush said, when the quarterback said 26. No, he is not. I keep telling you about trying to take these L's. When you trying to take L's, trying to prognosticate on what you going to do, you end up with this. We told you, all those guys on the list, and the most damning part is, the rest of the guys that started the year, the Cade Klubniks, the Nussmeyers, the Lenore Sellers, all the Arch Mannings, they were gone and eliminated after the first 2 months. And then we switched it over.
Yeah.
Then we was like, oh, it's Mendoza and Dante Moore. Then Dante Moore went back to school. The reality is, I've been saying it all along.
By the way, yesterday in our text group, Steve Becker was disparaging Dante Moore for going back to college, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Which I think is crazy. Why would Arch Manning not be disparaged? Wouldn't Arch Manning be the first pick in this draft, even ahead?
Unquestioned, undoubted.
Yeah.
The pick would be in right now. He'd
Right.
be a Las Vegas Raider.
So Dante Moore, who would maybe be the 2 pick, but Arch Manning would be 1.
And listen, this is
other guys, if Sellers came out, he'd be a top 5 just based off potential. Like, there are other guys who could have came out because of their
So I don't think guys are making money in college
NIL
now.
has changed the game at quarterback.
G, you were saying
What's
though,
that?
And he,
NIL has changed
Yes.
the game.
And
at
he
quarterback.
told, go back and watch. I played this on the barbershop. Go watch Dan Lanning and Dante Moore talk about the game after Indiana in the press conference. You know what Dante Moore said? Yeah, I made a lot of turnovers, and we can't turn the football over, and that just comes with reps. Just more reps and more experience. I said, hold on now, let me get this straight. So you telling me a dude that is potentially the number 2 overall pick, who played bad against Indiana, willfully admitted that, hey, reps is a thing.
I like that.
I need more seasoning. I need to get it here at this level before I can even get to that level. See, that's the problem, and that's the point. You can't microwave nothing. People was putting all their eggs in these baskets, talk about, oh, we about to get him and we about to get him. And he said out of his mouth, as a quarterback that's going to possibly the top 2, reps count. So what we got to start doing is understanding, Shedeur Sanders played 7 games. You can't make no determination. You're not going to know. You're not going to know if you should be married to somebody after 7 dates, 7 months. Some people fast track it. But here's all I'm saying. That room is looking like what the room is going to be.
Now, if the Browns had the first pick in the draft, they would be drafting Mendoza. There's no doubt about it.
You know what's funny? I told her, I said, Shedeur, you want to ruin everybody's hopes? Go ahead and win them last 2 games. And he did exactly that. And guess what? Let me tell you this too. The owner already done told you. If you read the tea leaves, everything they've done has told you they was playing Shedeur Sanders in 2026. They said Deshaun Watson, they made sure that they was cool with each other and had a nice relationship, to Tyvis's point. The Raiders game, he was going off the field, going to search out Deshaun Watson. They said, okay, if we want to keep Deshaun Watson on this program and what we doing, we need that space to get this team better because of his cap hit. So we're going to keep you on the roster and you're going to sit and be a backup. If he ain't doing nothing crazy, if he ain't running around with more lawsuits, whatever, let his time expire and let him chill back there. For Dillon Gabriel, he's a 3rd-round pick. Dillon Gabriel wasn't the number 1 overall pick, and Dillon Gabriel is not a person who's super, super duper garbage. If you're going to use a pick on him, and you already invested some time playing him and starting him, why can't he be a viable 3rd-string quarterback? What is this thing where we're going to try to find anything? By the time you get to Malik Willis and Mac Jones, you're playing yourself. You really going to tell yourself you that's what you're talking yourself into? Mac Jones?
I can't believe Malik Willis is going to get, he's barely
What?
played.
$20 million for Malik Willis?
How many teams need a starting quarterback right now?
But is Malik Willis the answer?
Heck no.
I don't know. They got, who needs a quarterback? Raiders, Jets.
Raiders, Jets,
Cardinals.
Browns, Cardinals.
Dolphins.
This is funny. Nobody's even considered
Well, I don't
Kyler
know
Murray
about Falcons.
at all. Kyler Murray's been a decent player in the league at times.
And he's better than Malik
Well,
Willis.
you just named 5.
Yeah.
Malik Willis has 6 starts in his career.
He gets 6 starts, and now everybody's sure he's really good. Who's the 5th team you said? After the Cardinals? Who'd you say?
Dolphins.
Hold on.
You giving up on Penix?
Can you tell
Falcons?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what Malik
sir.
Willis' what his stats is? He played 6 games. I thought it was more than that.
He's
Started
played in
6
more
games.
games. He started 6.
Okay.
That's it, huh? Well, he wasn't a first-round pick.
No, he's like a 3rd or something.
No, he was a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah.
How many years has he been in the league now?
So,
3? At
4
least 3.
years.
4?
Teams that don't have a sure thing at quarterback, right? Let's start in the East. You got the Jets, the Dolphins. That's 2. In the North, you got the Browns, the Steelers. That's 4. In the South, I'm going to say the Colts.
Daniel Jones is a free agent, so they do need.
Yeah, and he you know how to do half
tore
a
his
season, but
Achilles.
And
so
they still got Anthony Richardson.
yeah,
Yeah, but
the Colts is 5. Who else in the AFC South? Jags got their quarterback.
The other 3 have their quarterback.
The other 3. Okay, AFC West.
Raiders.
That's 6. So
Other
the 6
3 have. Yep.
in the NFC East.
All of them have the quarterbacks.
Nobody in the NFC East.
Unless you want to say Jalen Hurts, but
No, I'm not saying that. No, you guys won a Super Bowl 2 years
I was
ago.
saying unless you wanted to say.
What do we have? 5 or 6 in the
6.
AFC?
We have 6 in the
6
AFC.
in the NFC. All right, NFC North. They all got
All have
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks.
Are we sure Minnesota has a quarterback?
Oh, it's a good
Oh,
point.
I'm sorry, Minnesota. Yeah, that's 7. NFC South.
Falcons.
They just re-signed Bryce Young to his 5th-year extension. Saints have Shuck, Baker, and Bryce Young.
Yeah, Falcons.
Falcons.
I'm going to
So
say
you
Falcons.
are-
That's
yeah.
8.
What's Penix's timeline?
Bryce Young is.
But they just picked up his
This
5th
is
year.
year
But right now, I'm saying they do.
No, I mean injury. What's Penix?
Oh, I don't know what was his
He'll be
name.
back
I
for the
don't
start of
remember.
next season.
Didn't he have a bunch
And then
of
the
injuries in
NFC
college?
West, you have the Niners.
The Cardinals, so 9.
The Cardinals is 9. Who else? Rams. Yeah.
Somebody's paying Malik Willis.
So that's 9.
Somebody's paying him.
Man,
That
that's
is-
desperation.
somebody's
right?
Somebody's trading for Mac
A
Jones. and
third-round
somebody-
pick who had like 2 good games.
You just named 9 teams.
I know
Is he-
that, but what's the point of spending a lot of money on a bad
Is
quarterback?
he better than Kyler Murray? No.
I don't think he's better than Kyler Murray.
No, absolutely not.
If
But
you've decided
It's supply and demand.
Kyler Murray will be a starter somewhere. next
Somewhere.
year.
For sure. A lot of people say Cleveland.
Is Tua a starter next year? Tua?
His contract is so difficult to trade.
Yes, he's going to start next year. I don't know how they're going to move his deal.
By the way, the truth is, of all the realistic options, Kyler Murray is the best quarterback the Browns could play next year, in my opinion.
How they getting him?
Well, I'm just saying. Maybe could the Cardinals cut him.
I don't know. The
I don't know
situation
of a guy that could
It's
of
so
any player
early.
that could be available. The best player is Kyler Murray, in my opinion. I don't think the Browns should get him. Don't get me wrong, but he is the best player.
The thing that I can't understand with the Browns, when Jimmy's coming out and talking about the way that Jimmy was talking the other day about they should have won more than 5 games, and,
Right,
and they're
which is
competing.
silly.
They're competing to win. They're going.
Yeah.
Who's your quarterback? Who's the quarterback that's going to win you 8-9 games next year?
With this team?
You think Shador's going to? As high as you are on Shador, you think Shador is going to lead this team to the playoffs and win 8, 9, 10 games?
No, I think you can get 7 to 8 games if you upgrade the roster around Shador Sanders. Of course I do.
And is that okay? So that's what Jimmy wants then? That's what he wants.
Well, I mean,
He wants 7 or 8 wins, and now you've
Well,
taken
but if
yourself.
you believe that Shador Sanders is the future,
I
then
mean,
yes.
but if you say 5 ain't good enough,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you would like to go to the Super Bowl, but you can't predict. Okay, let's. Even if I got Mendoza or I got Moore or I got Malik Willis, am I going to close my eyes and say they're going to go to the Super Bowl with them? No.
No. But if you ask me the question of any possible available quarterback, rookie or not, currently on the roster or not, who would you have your best chance to win the most games with? I would say Kyler Murray, but that shouldn't be the goal. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that, but
No, they need a long-term solution,
Right.
And maybe it is Shador. I don't believe it is, but maybe
Yeah.
it is. It's so maybe they just run it out with him next year and give
right,
it.
which is why I would do that, because the guys that I think you win more games next year with Kyler Murray than Shador, but Kyler's not the
But what's it
long-term
going
answer, so
to?
what's the point?
What do you
Yeah.
accomplish with
Yes,
that?
right.
I think people, when they say give him 2026, people think that we talking about, hey, throw him out there, and if we 1-10, that's cool. No, that's not what it is. He has to go out there in 2026 and perform and have the team winning games. That's his audition. It's not
Of
like
course.
it's
Well,
not
there's-
saying
well,
like
nobody's saying it's cool.
We get
No,
we,
you don't
we-
want nobody-
No, it's one of those situations where it's like both parties would win technically. And if you for Shador against Shador, you would find out in 26.
Yeah, right.
If he's bad,
You going
if
to
he's
get a
bad,
quarterback.
good, you're gonna get a quarterback. You're gonna get an early
27.
pick and get a quarterback anyway.
And that's
Agreed.
and that's
And
from
if he's
G.
good,
Bush.
then you got your
And so
quarterback.
I don't see a better option that has any potential to be the long-term answer than Shador.
And let me give you
for me,
and let me
right
play
now.
devil's advocate a little bit. Even if you take Shador, right, and he's not good next year, he's not playing well.
Yeah.
But you've already upgraded the infrastructure. You got some linemen. You do have some receivers. Now you got your young players that have got some experience.
Yeah.
You now build your roster better for a quarterback that you can identify in 2027
Sure,
and give him a
absolutely.
better track record.
Yeah, or 2028. Who the hell knows?
This is in 2026.
That 2032 draft class is looking pretty good.
Hey, as long as they get it by the dome, Jason, no, man.
I know a kid in Aaron's class who's a hell of a quarterback.
But no,
Yeah.
nobody is saying that there's a guarantee. What I'm saying is if you look at the whole landscape, there is no legitimate better option than Shedeur Sanders trying to prove himself in the first half of 2026. I just don't see it in the draft. I don't see it in free agency. I don't see it.
If the goal is to try to win and look for the future, if the goal is only to win the most games possible, don't you think Kyler Murray would give them a better chance to win more games next year?
Sure. That may be true, but I don't know how they're getting them.
I'm looking at his cap numbers right now, and maybe I'm reading over the cap wrong.
Yeah.
I fully admit that this is weirder than I've ever seen a cap sheet look, and it may be because of the pre-guaranteed, post-guaranteed. He has a guaranteed salary, not cap hit, but salary of $37 million next year. His cap hit's $52 million. And the dead cap, if the Cardinals traded him, would be $54 million.
That's not that bad.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't, but it's compared to the other quarterback contracts, that feels way out of. Tua is like $100 million if they traded.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
they knew they.
I don't think the Browns.
They knew they was getting rid of that man when they signed.
This is probably not realistic, but if the Browns did in theory trade for him, the Cardinals would have to eat a lot of the money. So the Browns would have to pay him very little. But do you guys agree that if the goal is only, I know it shouldn't be the goal, and I don't want him, but if your only goal for 2026 is to win as many games as possible, is Kyler Murray the best choice? If that's your only goal.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know either. I don't know who's available.
Look, man.
Kirk Cousins?
No.
Mac Jones?
Absolutely not.
Wouldn't you rather have Kyler Murray than any of those guys?
Yes. But
Again, the goal is not looking for the long-term answer. The goal was just to win games.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray that deal to y'all like that?
No, absolutely
I
not.
think Kyler Murray is a
mid-work.
Has he made it to the playoffs?
yes.
I feel like maybe once.
The Kyler Murray's problem is a few years ago when he was playing well, he would kind of fall apart at the end of the year.
Oh, so he's Russell
But
Wilson.
Kyler Murray's been to the playoffs, right, Mike?
I'm trying to find that out right now.
I want to say he was there twice and lost in the first round.
Yeah,
Both times, but I could be wrong
him and
about
D-Hop didn't make it.
How many years
He
has
has
been in the
one
league?
playoff game in his career, 2021.
Okay. I think he played poorly, didn't
Who
he?
He did 19 to 34, 137 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks.
Yeah, that's bad. but guys, he won what's his? I know it's not on him all, but what was his win-loss record his first few years in Arizona? What was their win-loss record?
As a rookie, they were 5-10-1.
Yeah.
Second year, 8-8. Third year, which he made the Pro Bowl in, they went 9-5 in the games he played.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's fallen off a cliff. 3-8, 3-5, 8-9.
Well, like years 2 and 3 to go 17-13 with the Cardinals, like
Guess who's
not bad.
Guess whose offense he was running?
Kevin Stefanski.
Is that the right answer? No, Stefanski was in Cleveland.
Well, he wasn't there.
Drew
No,
Petson.
no, Drew just got there.
Yeah, Drew wasn't there.
Oh
for
yeah,
those
they
years.
weren't running it when those 2 years.
Drew just
Even
got
more
there
reason why.
last year, 2 years ago. When did Petson get there?
He got there when Gannon got there.
Yeah, when Gannon got the job.
Grew in Kyler
Yeah.
Murray. Let's
23, yeah.
He's in that. He has mid-work written all over him. He's
Kyler Murray's probably like the 22nd best quarterback in the league.
I just don't.
He should be a starter, but nobody's excited
I'm
about
not
him.
a huge fan of the short quarterbacks. The difference between
hear
him
you.
and Dylan Gabriel is that he's got the arm strength to overcome it.
And he's more athletic.
Kyler
he's
Murray's
more
got
athletic.
crazy baseball.
Yeah.
College should have played baseball.
I think the Browns. It would be very foolish to talk about anything other than linemen and receivers. I just
Well, but yeah, we're not talking about draft picks here.
I agree with you. I still
Yeah.
would take Drew Allen in the 4th or 5th round.
I need free agency.
Didn't last that long?
I don't know.
I don't
If
think
he's
it lasts
the,
that long.
It's
you
hard
think
to get
Shedeur
the
would
problem-
last that long?
Right, we
Different,
talked about
totally
this the other
different.
day where there's no good wide receivers in free agency except for Mike Evans, and he's not coming here. And it's very rare that a good offensive lineman. You know what? That's actually not true. There are good guards that end up in free agency.
Right.
You can't get a good good tackles almost never end up in free agency.
Never.
But there are good guards and centers that end up in free agency. So if you're the Browns, you could sign a younger veteran.
We ain't got no money to like trade for no guard or no tackle.
No, they
got some money.
They can
do-
restructure some
They'll
cap-
restructure. They'll have some.
Yeah.
They'll have some cap space.
So
yeah.
they'll be able to make a trade for a guard or a tackle if need be.
I think you need to make a trade for. I really
Who's
believe the
traded a
receiver.
good tackle though?
I didn't think Laramie Tunsil would get traded to the Washington Commanders.
A lot of times tackles become available when they're 15 years in at the end of their career. You got to find a stopgap guy like that, possibly.
I don't even know who like the top tackle. Who was all pro at tackle this year?
All pro at tackle this season? I'll tell you right now.
I don't even know like who was like dominating like that.
The all pro team this year at tackle was Garrett Bowles of Denver.
Really?
And Penei Sewell of Detroit. Second team was Darnell Wright of Chicago and Trent Williams of San Francisco.
By the way, I went to look up.
Garrett Bowles was.
Garrett Bowles.
He was, man, what? I know. Wait a minute.
Hold on,
Denver had the best offensive line in
Wait,
football.
I know that, but you talking about the left tackle.
The left tackle for the Denver
The
Broncos.
same guy when I was in Denver that they used to boo and hate on. The fans used to boo and hate on because he used to like jump all sides and stuff. That dude,
When were you in Denver?
2019?
Then that is the same guy.
Wow!
So,
hey, shout out to you for turning it around. They used to hate
guys,
that man.
I'm on the. I went to look up, best free agent offensive lineman. Now, listen,
Tyler Lindenbaum.
No, I don't think he's a free agent.
I think he is. I thought
he is. He could be.
Oh, is he? They list them in order of their previous salary.
Okay.
3 of the top 5 guys are Browns.
In what now?
Free agent offensive linemen, they're ranked in order of their previous salary.
Oh, my God.
You got Bitonio 2, Wyatt Teller 4, Cam Robinson 5. He made $12 million this year.
By the way, Pochich is near the top of that list.
And then Pochich is like 11 or 12.
You could sort it, though, in their upcoming market value. Are you on SpoTrack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a straight guess and projection.
Okay.
They have Rasheed Walker, the left tackle from Green Bay, as the offensive lineman expected to get the most money this summer.
Okay. Oh, I see Tyler Linderbaum now.
$20 million. Linderbaum, 3 at $17.5 million. David Edwards, the guard from Buffalo, at $19.9 million.
Okay, so there are some. Who was the first guy you said, Mike? A tackle?
Rasheed Walker, I'm unfamiliar. I'll be honest.
I don't know who he is.
I would imagine Whippler's the center next year, no? And Whippler the center?
Yeah.
You got to say go Bucks after that.
I'm not going to say
he's
go.
not.
And I would,
assuming that the surgery is cool. I don't know. I still don't know what happened.
Nobody
to him.
yeah, no, that's true. But I would imagine he's going to be healthy by next. If Whippler's the center, I would imagine they're going to try and re-sign Tevin Jenkins, I would think. I mean, they benched Wyatt for him.
Yeah.
He has a projected market value this summer of $13.4 million.
I guess it depends on who the
Yeah,
head coach is.
I think they're going to try to have DeJuan Jones be a starter, even though you can't rely on him.
Right
But
tackle.
I'd put
you had your whole
gotta
right
put
side.
I think you put DeJuan back.
They already said that.
Right
They already
you
said that. No, they said that.
They're putting him back to right tackle.
Didn't I just say right tackle?
I didn't hear you say right tackle, but
they've been said that.
Yeah.
I think you have my 3 is Luke, DeJuan, and Tevin. You got to have those 3.
put them all on the and then you got.
I wouldn't put them all on the right side because you're gonna have a rookie left tackle. I don't want two rookies on the same side.
Well, you could sign a veteran. Who was that top guard in free agency?
The top guard
Yeah.
was David Edwards,
From where?
Buffalo.
All right, so like in theory, you could sign David Edwards, have a rookie left tackle, and then have Whippler at center, Jenkins at right guard, and DeJuan at right tackle. Now you got to have another lineman because DeJuan is going to.
You better have a safety net more than you had this year.
And I don't know. The best tackle to be is Lamu, the dude from Utah. But you know what I'm saying.
Is he playing left or right? What does Fano play? Spencer Fano? Because I know
he plays right.
Fano was the right tackle.
You absolutely cannot draft an offensive lineman in the first round
and try to move him
to left tackle.
That's the dude from Miami.
He's going to guard.
Nah, I can't have that.
I mean,
Maui Noga, depending on what team you ask,
No.
according to the guys, some have him as a tackle, some have him as a guard.
But he played the right side anyway.
Yeah.
He did play the right side.
But what I'm saying is, if a guy played right tackle in college,
right.
I'm not doing this.
I'm not drafting him in the first round and moving him to left tackle.
It's too different.
We did that. That was the Jed Williams.
That was Jed.
It was too.
And DeJuan Jones to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the dude who played for the Tampa Bay, the tackle?
Worse.
Was he a right tackle that got switched to left?
I don't
He was.
remember.
Yes.
Was he?
Yeah, and sometimes it works.
Right.
Sometimes it's not an issue.
But
for
more
guys,
often than not,
sometimes
it's
it
a
is.
hard transition.
It is. That's
So-
still to this day. I can only kick slide from to the left. I can't go to the right.
Is Martin Emerson a free agent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, they're gonna
They're gonna bring him back on the cheap.
They're gonna lowball him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1.1 million.
That's crazy, right? You
He
gonna
be
throw that in
like-
the ether?
Yeah.
Somebody's
Something
like,
like
"Hey, you see UCSS?" Yeah, Bull said he'll take that
He doing
1.1.
a 1 year prove it deal.
Yeah,
He gonna come in,
1.195,
he gonna
like some
come
weird
in
number like that.
when Denzel go down or whatever the heck might happen.
Yeah.
He gonna go in. He gonna ball for a couple games,
Somebody will pay him.
and
the
somebody
following
will
year.
pay him off of that.
His speed gonna be at 85.
Oh yeah.
I tell you what, if everything work out great, they should try to kick one of them two down, Denzel or Campbell, Tyson Campbell down to the nickel and let Martin play outside, because the nickels that they got now is
Stink.
Hard.
they're young.
Yeah,
All right, a little harsh.
yeah.
All right, Mike. Let's
Let's
some
talk a
hoops.
little bit about those Cleveland Cavaliers, guys. If you want more Browns talk, head over to our YouTube page. Check out the Ultimate Brown Show. GBush does a great job hosting that. Post new content every week. You can find it on our YouTube page. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Help support UCSS any way you can. All right, so maybe we just have to start ripping the Cavs to smithereens every show, because whenever we criticize them, they play well. When we praise them, they play poorly following up the next performance. They got curb stomped by Utah on Monday. We did not have confidence going into last night's game, and then they had
Who didn't?
another
I said they
really
were gonna
impressive performance. They won coast to coast, led the entire game, beat the 76ers, but Darius and Sam Merrill left the game with injuries. They're both listed as doubtful already for tomorrow's game. No word on the severity long-term of the issues and the injuries, but Merrill left the arena last night in a right-hand splint, which was the same thing he had when he was dealing with the sprained hand he had earlier this season, which kept him out for about a
Darius
dozen
was
games.
playing well,
And Merrill, and Darius hurt his opposite foot. So not the toe that's been giving him issues. This is now the opposite foot.
Yeah.
So, how do you weigh a game where the Cavs played awesome, beat a team that's ahead of them in the standings, completely destroyed Philadelphia, but may have lost Merrill and Garland in the process?
Get that look off your face.
Man, it's just like you can't count on them, man. You can't count on them. Like, now we back. The frustrating part is, Darius was playing well. You know what I'm saying? It looked like Mike had just gave him all of the accolades in the world.
What did he have? He had like 15 and 7 or something like that.
Man, he was
Darius?
Yeah.
he was rubbing his
Yeah, he was good
shoulders.
last night.
20 and 7.
Yeah, he was rubbing his shoulders, talking about his explosiveness, and his runner is falling now. I said, oh, here we go. When McNuggets starts rubbing the shoulders of these Cavs dudes, they hear him and be like, yep, time to get hurt or time to fall off. And this is the thing that happens when you talk about with injuries and guys who, and trust me, I'm the most injury-prone dude in the world. I don't even shovel snow no more. The fact that he hurt his one foot, now it's the other foot. It's tough because that's what the engine of his game is. It's quickness, change of direction, getting in the paint, breaking down the defense. He hasn't been shooting the ball all that well from the three-point arc, which was something that used to be a strong suit of his.
Make like 3 of them.
But he was on a rising trajectory, and he's hurt again. Sam Merrill, you need him to come back, and you need Sam Merrill to spread the floor and knock down shots, because the Cavs haven't shot the ball well this year, and he's missed a whole lot of time in the other games. So now he's down. So it's like, the Cavs need to get together and be able to play with each other to build some cohesiveness. Max Strus is another guy who they said, oh, it's not a setback. But anytime they come out and say, it's a couple more weeks, no, that was a setback, dog. That was definitely a setback. So now you don't know when he's coming back. So to me, it sucks, because the Cavs, they just need to put meaningful games and reps together in order to get themselves right by the playoffs. And now this is another setback in terms of it. We'll see what Darius is, but this is something I think you're gonna have to see with him for the rest of his career.
No updates, Mike. There's been no updates on his condition.
Kenny will speak later today. Maybe we'll get some more information. As of right now, Kenny said last night, I don't think either will play Friday, but they didn't have any longer term diagnosis.
I hate seeing it, because Donovan took that I'm gonna let y'all eat first approach, and DG and Mobley did their thing. They was really balling in that game. And then Donovan obviously took over. I want to say it was like the third quarter where he just like 20 points. Yeah, like 20 points in the third quarter or something. I was watching it. And yeah, he really was on fire. Jalen Tyson, man.
Jalen Tyson,
man. That's
he's the second best player.
That's every time he play like this, Jordan Tyson look good in the Browns uniform every time.
The Tyson connection.
I'm going to start leading that charge. But no, I think that some of these role players are really starting to figure things out. If we could get an aggressive Mobley like that, he was strong on the boards. I don't know what Jared Allen was on yesterday. And y'all was right about Embiid, man. I was watching Embiid. He like lazy. He like just don't really.
He can't move no more.
Yeah, he tried to back Mobley down a couple of times. He kept settling for the fade. I'm like, I don't know what happened to him. But the Cavs defense played really well. I think this was the third worst shooting night for the 49ers, for the 76ers. So like the defense, and it was like they were making the extra pass and guys was hustling. Obviously, Naquan Tomlin came in and got a couple of steals and knocked some of the passes out of bounds and stuff like that. Like it seemed like after the Utah game, they were criticized so much that they was like, we got to lock in. We got to show that we can actually put it on tape. Like, we can actually do these things. And you got this just great performance. But the problem is it's just not consistent enough. But they showed you, like, if we really want to do this, we can do it. Like, so it's just on a night-to-night basis, you just don't know what you're going to get out of the Cavs team. But if they play like this, like, they're one of the best teams in the East, in my personal opinion.
They're not a mature team because they just play to the level of their competition.
Well, yeah.
We've seen that over and over and over. They play Minnesota. They play incredibly well. You call it the best win of the year. Bulls ready to hail them as champions. And then they come out against Utah and fall completely on their face and fall behind 15-2 or whatever it is.
Right.
And then against Philly on the road, here they come out and put together another terrific performance. So part of this is just, we've been saying all year, they're bored. And they just sort of, when they're playing against good teams, they rise to the challenge. And when they don't, they don't. It's not a great way to go through the regular season. It's not building good habits. But it's middle of January, and here we are. So you would hope that they can start to take games seriously, even against bad teams. I think it looked to me like Darius stepped on somebody's foot.
No, he like got stripped, and then like it's like they fell on him, and I don't know. It was the weirdest thing. I didn't really see what it hurt him.
I'm going to assume it's not catastrophic until otherwise. If it was the left foot, it'd be a lot more. Mm-hmm. But
because he got up and he was like, he was holding like right here. It's like this. So I'm like, is it an ankle? I don't know what it is.
They say it's a foot injury. However, he grabs his. I'm watching the play again right here. Like,
yeah, he grabbed
his foot. There's no definitive roll of an ankle.
No point in speculating, Mike. I mean, it is what it is. We'll find out.
But it's the opposite foot. The one thing it's worth noting, it is the opposite foot, not the foot that he's been dealing with the toe injury. It is the other foot.
Painfully, it's still 3 more. I mean, I can't believe it's 3 more months to the postseason.
3 more months, almost to the day.
They're
Playoff
past the
start.
halfway point, though.
What's wrong?
You made it through 50% bowl.
Playoffs,
just unbearable.
Playoffs are like April. It's almost 3 months to the day. 3 more months.
It's straight torture.
It's on me.
It is just awful. I mean, I hate watch the Cavs play.
It's just the NBA still making like great money. Mm-hmm. Really?
Jason and
Their
I were,
viewership ain't down.
It doesn't matter what the viewership is. The television deals are through the roof. That's the whole reason the NBA can have markets in Oklahoma City and Memphis. And like baseball could never support a team in Oklahoma City or Memphis because of the way the league is structured. NBA, the TV contracts are so enormous and everybody makes so much money. You could put a team in Hudson and they would make money. Like, it don't matter.
When is the deal up?
They just signed new deals.
Oh, really?
Not that long ago.
Oh, man.
If the Cavs was balling like they was last year, we'd have a different feeling. We'd be watching every night. But since they aren't, and they're up and down, and you can't. The worst thing for fans is not understanding what you're going to see from night to night. And that's the part that turns people off. Because at least if you saw the effort, if you saw the want to, the care, you would invest in it. But, you get games like Utah, then you come in and get a game like this. It's hard for people to get involved in, really, really just buy in and just, I'm all in on the 76ers game. And you're like, but I just saw y'all play terrible and not really care.
That's what makes it frustrating, G. Their A game is still as good, if not better, than anyone in the East.
Yeah.
It is.
Which leads you to believe that they could still absolutely go on a tear in the postseason.
And that's the hope, right? Like,
it's the only hope.
As down as we are on the team, as blah as they feel to me, once the playoffs start, you're going to be locked in.
Sure.
And the expectations are low. So if they make a big run, it'll be exciting.
So are the Cavs – no, I wouldn't say that. Are the Cavs like the version of, I guess, the Pittsburgh Steelers in Cleveland? You know how when you say the Steelers, you know, they go to the playoffs every year. They got some marquee names, but they don't seem to have enough to get over the top. So the fans are always salty that they lose in the first round and not really legitimate.
We haven't done it long enough.
No.
Is it same with the Cavs?
I think, I mean, if you want to make that comparison, it's more the Guardians than the Cavs. The Guardians would be the Steelers.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Mark of excellence. That's a tremendous organization, terrific stability, but they don't get it done in the end.
Yeah.
And the Steelers don't really spend either.
Yeah, that's a perfect example.
From a football perspective, they don't.
And the front office is well liked and well known, and they respect it. Yeah, that's a perfect example.
I do want to give a shout out. We did the whole topic yesterday on the fake DeAndre Hunter trade rumor that was debunked. Yeah. Well, maybe we just needed to start fake DeAndre Hunter trade rumors like a month ago, and it could have saved us a lot of misery because last night was the best game he's played in quite a while. 17 points is the most he's had in about 2 weeks. He had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, shot over 50% from the floor. And it was nice to see DeAndre Hunter at least resemble the player that the Cavs thought they were trading for, because what we've seen from the last month from DeAndre has been
it was
completely
funny.
non-existent.
Jason and I were talking. Oh, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, Mike texted me. I don't remember what day it was. The Hunter trade stuff. He goes, "Have you heard this? Is this legit?" Yeah. And I like the guy where it came from. I'm like, I would not exactly use that as a basis of good trade gossip. And like 3 hours later, he's like, "Oops, my bad, sorry."
Yeah. Did you see?
That was on me.
Did you see the Jonathan Kuminga wants to trade? Would you trade for Kuminga, Mikey?
For this Cavs team?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how that deal would work without messing around with the trade machine, but I don't like Kuminga's game personally. No. Okay. I'm kind of just out on really selfish players, just in general.
That brings us to a point that
real quick. The league is about, you're seeing it. The league is going through another metamorphosis of trades where it's just going to be teams shedding money.
Yeah,
that's trades. It's just teams trying to get off contracts. But go ahead.
Jason and I were having a conversation before the show about where the state of American basketball is. And I don't think it's ever been.
It's fascinating.
What's that?
It's a fascinating conversation to have.
I don't think it's ever been worse. Like and when I say that, I'm like, well, the guys are more athletic than ever.
You don't think that happens every generation? Like,
no,
you don't think
not at all.
You don't think like, I don't know, Bob Cousy was like Jordan and them messed it up, or did Jordan probably sound like LeBron and them messed it up? You don't think that happens all the time?
Probably on some degree, but not like this.
So
I'm talking specifically American basketball, not the NBA.
I mean, Bull.
Yeah,
you are right. This upcoming draft, there are 3, and some people even think 4 American college players right now that are all way better than Cooper Flagg was as prospects.
You know what's crazy?
Is that really true?
Yeah, this is like this is considered a generational.
We thought Zion Williamson was going to be great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
We thought Trae Young. All these guys. Nobody wants these guys.
Well, Trae Young wasn't thought of anywhere in that conversation.
He was a top 2 pick, wasn't he?
No,
he went 5th.
5.
I want to ask.
That seemed like he was second round.
McNuggets, the kid from Kansas,
Darren Pete, he's Ohio kid. By
yes, him.
Ohio kid.
Yeah. Is it true that he sits out of games and he only plays when he's 100%?
I've heard some of that. I mean, by hearing, I've seen some Twitter.
AAU basketball,
but he's incredible.
When he very bad. Incredible. Obviously, there's some coaches I'm sure who are really.
He might be from low-key Canton or something.
Yeah,
he's from right around here. I'll find out.
You know what bothers me? I said this to Jason. This drives me nuts. Every time on Instagram I see a clip of an AAU basketball game, it's always a kid showboating, trying to humiliate another kid.
Yeah.
This is what we're encouraging for children?
Yep.
Really? You like that?
I do.
Get that work.
It's them YNs.
Wow.
You can't say
all right.
We're trying to get you up. We're trying to get you up out of here.
For sure.
We're trying to put you in the workforce.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We're trying to put you in the workforce.
They brought the street balls basically to the
That's what you want. That you think that's a good lesson for kids.
Oh, yeah.
Is to try to just showboat and humiliate people.
Yes.
What?
We try to
because it makes you play harder.
We want.
It's like the KG clip going around about how LeBron messed up the All-Star game where Kobe slapped the ground.
I saw that.
And he passed the.
Yeah,
if somebody slapped the ground in front of you, it's ISO. It ain't even. Don't look for
LeBron
no
has ruined the All-Star game. That is true. We can't disagree. He has. He ruined he wouldn't do the slam dunk contest, which was a disgrace.
This is wild.
You know, Jason, he had to do
He should have done the dunk. He should have done the dunk contest.
And
I don't know. I'm just amazed at.
I'm stunned by you guys, especially you with kids. That you'd want kids to behave that way.
I tell my kids that you better talk some trash.
Hey, you gotta listen. We trying to I always believe
my
this.
son, if he play, actually my daughters, if they play,
you gotta get.
We gotta get your trash talk.
Where I came, look, when we came from, like, and playing on the playgrounds and playing, like, there was this thing where the best players wasn't even like play for your high school. The best players couldn't get eligible, was either in the streets gang banging or shooting people or selling. So them dudes, they come down there and you had to go to the hood to play. And when you got there, they was going to either take you out the sky, they was going to foul you,
bridge you.
they will taunt you, they may threaten you.
Yeah.
What do you think? I grew up in Rocky River?
I don't know.
I understand.
Bull, you are the most. You're the most over the top dude. Bull will say, bad job of you. You're terrible.
Y'all didn't trash talk.
I talked a lot of shit.
Okay.
You still.
When I was in high school, and I still do.
So what are you talking about?
This is not a good lesson for young kids. It's not good behavior. I behaved poorly as a kid.
You still.
Let me ask you this: when you trash talk, what was the point of it?
To get under the guy's skin.
What the heck do you think they try to do?
But Tyvis,
to try to take people off their game.
What I'm saying is we're not teaching kids the fundamentals of the game.
Okay.
Oh, that's a totally different. That's a separate argument.
There you go.
That's a separate argument.
You feel like
you talking about coaching. I ain't got nothing to do with that. If I go out there and make a play, you best believe you're going to see something.
But
I'm doing it now.
Go ahead, JJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bull and I were talking before the show, and I can't remember the initial comment you made, and I said we talked about that for 2 years. I was on the phone with the NBA executive 2 years ago who said, you want to get Adam's attention right about the decay of American basketball and who's the next MVP and what's going to happen in the Olympics in 2028 when America does not win gold in America at the Olympics and how embarrassing that's going to be because there's no KD and LeBron around to bail them out in 2028. So there is a lot of merit to it. And I felt like we talked about this on the show before.
We have.
The guy that I was talking to said, we, as the NBA, needs to take over AAU. And he said, get these coaches out of here. The coaches are on their phones. They're not even paying attention to what's going on. And do what soccer does, where soccer has taken over in Europe. They've taken over the youth programs. The coaches need to be licensed, accredited. Like, they have to be certified. They need to be certified that we're teaching kids the right way. Because, like, who's the next American MVP? Who's the next American who's going to win MVP?
The only possibility is Anthony Edwards.
That's the only one.
just
right
heard-
now, so far. We'll see what's to come.
Are y'all familiar with this Omar Muhammad 8th grade kid?
8th grade?
They say he is the next LeBron.
Where does he live?
I don't know.
They said Amani Bates was the next.
There you go.
They said he dunking and everything. Omar Muhammad is his name. I haven't looked it up. I just was familiar. If anybody
All
heard.
black people can dunk. All of us.
Not in the 8th grade.
You can dunk.
There's a lot of people.
Can you currently dunk?
Oh no. Why would I even try that?
Gee, I'm going for it.
Hey, listen. I'm
going for it.
Not all black people can dunk. Not in the 8th grade.
There's a lot of like dunking.
I didn't start. I didn't dunk
novelty.
for the first time until I was.
What are you talking about?
10th grade, maybe. I dunked the first time at 10th grade.
Like that can't be. You can't just be like I can dunk.
My friend Kevin can't dunk.
Oh yeah. He's not dunking. I don't think any of your black friends can dunk.
No, they can't.
Not in their 50s.
What's that?
Not in their 50s.
Yeah, well, they're in their 50s.
You don't think Earl could dunk?
No.
No chance.
No.
No chance, Earl.
He's not on the backboard. No.
Earl admits he's not any good at basketball.
I mean, he can't dunk.
Hey, I want to see.
He's not very tall.
I want to see Earl dribble. I want to see him. Earl is
Earl's not dunking. With all due respect.
Earl on the pickup game. I'm gonna make him my enforcer.
I gotta take Earl. We Earl gotta go to the court. I gotta see it for myself. There's no way Earl can't hoop.
Earl likes NASCAR.
There's no way Earl cannot hoop, bro. There's no way.
Well, but Brad Darcy
It's
likes
impossible.
NASCAR.
He does.
Yeah,
You're right.
It's
You're right.
literally impossible that Earl can't hoop.
I don't think he goes on hoop.
He's the one who's admitted he can't
can't hoop.
He might not be confident in his game, but I feel like Earl can get a bucket.
No.
Earl just texted me and said, laughing my F butt
Yeah.
off. So, yeah, he can't hoop.
Earl
He's the
can
first
get a
to tell you he
bucket, man.
can't.
I refuse to
I
believe
can't believe a
that.
kid in the 8th grade can dunk.
I might have
That's
to look up
nuts.
his highlight.
He's 6'9".
He's 6'9"?
Is he 6'9"?
That's what
in
that's
the
what YouTube
8th
says.
grade?
Yeah, that's what YouTube says. So,
Sheesh.
who knows? All right, guys, we got one last thing we got to get to. You want more Cavs
Well,
talk?
maybe he's the
Find
next
Ultimate
American
Cavs
MVP.
Right.
podcast. It is on our
6'9".
YouTube page. Jason and I gave out first half
Lord.
grades for the Cavs on
feed that
Tuesday
kid.
morning. Make sure you guys check it out on our YouTube page. All right, the reason I had to leave yesterday's show a little early was I had an interview set up with Killian Hayes, who's the best player in the Cleveland Charge, who had just won the G League.
Didn't you
Player
say
of
he's the
Week
best
award.
player in the G League?
I think he is the best player in the G League.
He was a
yeah.
lottery pick, right?
Yeah,
He was
by
the
the
7th
Pistons.
overall pick by the Pistons a couple of years ago. He's bounced around, has been up and down
What?
between the G League. He was on
Yeah.
the Pistons, the Nets, and now he's in the G League with the Charge, and he's on the precipice of potentially getting another call-up. So I had a chance to sit down with Killian and the Charge head coach, Eli Abrams, to kind of figure out what makes Killian such an important player to the Chargers' success this season. So it's a little 3-4 minute package. It's Killian and head coach Eli Abrams. Killian Hayes has been awesome this season for the Cleveland Charge. His stats look like video game numbers, and that's part of the reason why he was an easy choice for the G League's Player of the Week honor. But after talking to Killian and Charge head coach Eli Abrams, something was evidently clear. While it's awesome that Killian got the individual acknowledgement, even he'll be the first to admit he couldn't have done it without his teammates.
Being able to celebrate with the team and just, have that award, it's a team award. Wouldn't have been able to do it without my teammates, and, we got a long season, let's get plenty more.
What makes Killian such a dynamic offensive and defensive playmaker at this level right now?
I think the good thing about Kill is, one, he's just dynamic on both ends. So offensively, he is in the paint at will, wherever you need it, and he's not in there just for himself. He's in there 20-plus potential assists a game, which has been huge for our team, where we lead the G in assists, we lead the G in potential assists, one of the best teams at kicking the ball ahead. So that's been huge for us. Defensively, you put him on the best guard, and he's going to pick him up full court, all in his airspace, and it's really the tip of the spear for us.
What's something that coach has kind of had you really focus on this year that you feel like has actually translated to your game?
For me, just impacting winning. I feel like being more of a leader on the floor, especially as a point guard position, but he always preaches just playing hard, playing fast, playing our type of basketball, and he always, give us a lot of confidence every time we go to step into any game.
To me, just the skill level you see at this level, Kill has just completely surpassed that. But the best thing about him is realizing what's going to get him to that next level, right? So we're at Windy City, middle, I think right around Thanksgiving, and he goes for 40, right? And it pretty efficient, like he's, gets to his spots wherever he wants, and we end up losing the game. And to me, there was a very big turning point where we kind of sat him down with film, and we were like, listen, Kill, like, as dynamic as you are, you can get this whenever you want, dog. But where you want to get to, nobody wants to be in the G forever. You want to go be a backup point guard, a third point guard, a consistent roster spot. We need you to galvanize the group and get 20 to 25 potential assists. We know you can do the scoring bit. How well can you get your teammates involved? And most players, after getting their career high, are going to be like, what are you talking about, man? You are outside of your mind. I just had 40. What are you saying? And Kill put himself aside and really took hold of the group. And to me, that's why he's so close to getting where he wants to go.
He's a first-year head coach. How has that relationship kind of been built where he's trusting you to run his offense and you're also trusting a guy who is in that position for the first time in his career?
I feel like he put a lot of trust into us, but he just give us a lot of confidence stepping on the floor. He gave us, like me and DB, Luke, like the keys to like run the offense, and then with that freedom, we gotta respect our guys and what we do. But just love, man. He just give us a lot of confidence every night.
Going left, you rank in the top 7 percentile, if not higher, in almost every category: efficiency, finishing, floaters, 3-point percentage. Killian, when you see a step and you get a chance to go to the left, I know you're a left-handed player. Is there anyone that's stopping you?
I've been guarded like that my whole life, and I feel like to make the game easier, like I try to mix it up a little bit more now because the teams are really forcing me like to go right. But I feel like I always get ways to find back left every time.
When a player's that dynamic with the ball in his hands, how do you get him to buy into the other stuff on offense when someone like Darius or Chris or Luke kind of takes control for a second?
It's hard if he's about himself. It's easy if he's about the group. And so luckily for Kill, like all he's about is the group. To a level that even surprised me. Obviously when I got here, Kill's been around the league, and I'm very, fortunate to have a former NBA guy on our team. But, some of those guys, aren't always the best team guys. And I could not be happier, with how he's been around his teammates and just, again, getting everybody involved and really taking hold of the group.
As you kind of progress in your basketball journey, I know being in the G League is not your end goal. You feel like you're an NBA player, and frankly, I think you're right in the sense that you're an NBA player. Do you feel like what you've done here in Cleveland thus far is setting you up to get back to the NBA?
I feel like as long as I do my job, I play hard, we win games, I feel like I'm putting a lot of chances on my side, and I just got to keep praying about it, and hopefully an opportunity presents itself.
And lastly, I've talked to a number of different people around the G League. And when I ask, hey, who's the best player in the G right now? I've had multiple people say Killian Hayes. Do you feel like you're the best player in the G League right now?
I feel like me and our team, I have a lot of trust in our team, and just stepping out every night on the court, I feel like we have a great chance of winning the game. So just wanting to impact winning, I want to be on the best team. So, you could say that.
Killian, appreciate you, man, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Mike getting dapped up by Killian Hayes.
My dap game has improved more than anything else in my life since
Mike
2022
is such,
Cavs Media Day.
You know what's funny is you're like so cool with basketball players. Like all these basketball players respect Mike.
Yeah, he played.
It seems like it, right? The coach is very respectful. And then when you're setting up these pieces, you go into dorky TV sports guy mode.
Funny story.
Yeah.
I taped an intro when I was out there with Killian.
Yeah.
It was horrific. So when I came back,
like an intro, you mean?
Like an intro to the interview where you sit in your seat, and I called Dan and I said, I can't put this on air. I had to come down and record myself, and that's why that's how it came out like that. But shout out to Killian.
It's funny. Anyway,
will we see him moved up at some point this season?
I think there's a very, very, very good chance.
How come some of the other guys go up and down, but he just stays there?
He is on a two-way contract.
Oh.
He's on a straight G League contract right now.
Man,
so
amazing.
So you can get a two-way contract even if you sign G League?
Yeah, so each team is 3 two-way contracts.
Yeah.
The Cavs' 3 two-ways right now are Naquan Tomlin, who's essentially been a one-way, and the Cavs have to make a decision on his full-time permanent roster status very, very soon. Luke Travers, who's gone back and forth, and
he got to go.
Chris Livingston, who's gone back and forth.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna have to.
Those
Chris
two are
Livingston.
He's only played a few games with the Cavs, most of the charge.
I'm not familiar with him.
So
He's
one of
from
those
Akron.
two gone.
Well,
we got
Tomlin only has a few games left before the Cavs have to.
He's got to go up.
All right.
Make him a full-time NBA player.
So they have to get rid of somebody.
So they had to cut somebody, which is
they have some roster decisions.
Also, aren't we at the time of the year where guys sign
Ball.
10-day contracts too?
Well,
or is that any time of the year?
Yeah, you can do it anytime. It's just how nerdy you want to get into how contracts work. Jason could probably do a better job explaining.
It's usually toward the
but
second half of the season.
That you see a lot of those.
Yeah.
The event you can only do a certain amount of those.
But they're,
right?
they're maxed out right now on players.
Would their decision?
So who they got to get rid of?
Would it be Craig Porter Jr. or Alonzo Ball?
They're not getting rid of Craig.
No, why would you get rid of Craig Porter
Ball.
Jr.?
I mean, Lonzo's contract allegedly, well, not allegedly. Lonzo's contract would be appealing to a team. It's the same reason it was appealing to the Cavs, because it's non-guaranteed for next year, so you can clear money for next year if you acquire Alonzo's contract.
Where's my boy Tyrese Proctor?
He's on a full NBA deal. He's still on the bench.
I don't really get no tick no more.
Let me. This is a very interesting question. Back in the day, when they had people, remember the amnesty rule? How did that come about? And do you think that they would think about doing it with rising salaries again with some of these players? Because you said they want to dump pieces.
Yeah.
How did the amnesty come about? And is that something that they can think about doing stuff?
That was a one-shot deal coming off the work stoppage in 2010.
17?
No, it was 2010, I think. There was a work stoppage right around there. Kyrie's rookie year was delayed in starting because of the work stoppage. Yeah. So the amnesty provision comes out of that, where you can just basically, a guy gets his money, but
he doesn't count against the cap.
But he doesn't count against the cap.
Did every team do it?
No.
Do you remember?
No, but the Cavs did with Baron
Davis. Yeah. And so if now you're getting these, I'm wondering, the reason I ask is because you got these doggone salaries going up, and Trae Young's guys got these max deals.
Yeah, they're not going to bail
and
these
it's
teams
like,
out again.
No,
I mean,
they should do that for the NFL. They should make the quarterbacks their own separate contract. Quarterbacks got their own thing, and everybody else.
I've always said that quarterbacks, yes,
take them off the cap.
Yeah, that obviously you significantly lower the cap, but have a quarterback thing, and then for everybody else. Anyway, Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll just wrap this with this, but it's a very good chance to see Killian Hayes in an NBA uniform soon.
Good luck to him. It's good to see him bouncing back. Hopefully, he can help the Cavs down the stretch.
And the Charger, a sponsor of UCSS, so go watch your local Charger game.
How they doing?
Back home. They're good. They had won 8 of 10. They lost 2 on the road last week. I forget the exact record, but they're doing well. All right, Super Chats. Marjan Jamie says, is it possible that any regime will ever have consistent success while the Haslams own the Browns?
Unlikely. Never say never.
Hey,
You have to.
they had it. They had
Only
it.
hope is to find the quarterback, to find the short thing at quarterback.
4 years.
They had it briefly.
4 years they had it.
But they still.
They had to play.
I mean, they ain't fired nobody in a while.
6 years.
It's a long time, 6 years, man.
Yeah.
And they still didn't even fire the GM.
All right, next one. Fat
did.
Boy Season says, when G comes in late, he should have some WWE walkout music.
New world order.
One Cleveland kid says, G, the Jags just proved that the better does not always. Just prove that the better does not. Okay, I'm going to read this word for word, and you guys could.
Decode.
The Jags.
G, the Jags just proved that the better does not always, but the better quarterback does, and we got to get through QB gauntlet with 2 of them in the division, and also Pat and Allen. We don't have the guy to hang with any of them.
Oh, so the better team. No, the better team doesn't usually beat the better quarterback. If I think I'm getting that
I
right.
have no idea what he's trying
So
to
he's saying that they don't.
The Jags are the better
team.
I think they're saying the Jags were the better team, but the Bills
Bills
wanted
had
to stay the better quarterback
because they
which is
had
true.
Josh Allen.
And that's with Trevor Lawrence having the best year of his career and the best stretch of his career, certainly at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But in the end,
thought
Josh
they-
Allen's a
I
superstar.
actually thought they was going to win it.
I did too.
Jags?
Yeah,
I
did.
never thought they were going to win that
I
game.
thought they was
When
gonna
they
win
scored at, I thought it was a little bit too much time on the clock, but I'm like, oh, they about to mess around and win this
it.
game.
I thought the Panthers was going to mess around and win it.
Yeah.
I never thought the Panthers were going to win that game.
They played
I
very
thought
confident.
no. They played great,
Yeah.
but I thought the Rams would pull it out.
Until the last, I thought the Rams were going to win, and I was like, oh my God, they're going to do it.
I will say,
I never thought the Bills were going to win.
Again, that throw by Bryce Young for that last Panther touchdown was an all-time throw. That was
perfect.
a great throw.
Hey, but football is the only sport in which everybody still watches the playoffs even if your team's not in.
100%.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Every
Mike.
game.
I do
All
it
right,
for
next
baseball,
one.
but
Dawson Lowe 9776 says every single draft pick should be going towards the offense. Watson will be comeback player of the year. He has his mind in the right place now. We'll make the playoffs. Let's draft a receiver one or trade for one like Justin Jefferson.
Riding
well,
with,
if a random dude says that he's got his mind in the right place, it must be true.
Foes, baby. The foe is back.
Tyvis, how many people in the population?
Do you need to see the video of him with the zip on the ball?
What percentage do you think people in Cleveland still believe that there's Deshaun Watson 4 fans out there? How many people?
2%.
There's medication for them.
2%. No, I say
They're
5.
interested.
5%?
I was going to say 4.
5%.
All right, Mike.
Next
Leroy,
one, Smooth STP
whatchamacallit
says
coming back.
the reason Malik Willis might get $20 million a year is because teams refuse to develop quarterbacks. Giving him that amount of money after 6 starts in 3 years instead of giving a young quarterback time is wild work.
Well,
Now, in fairness, Malik Willis is young, too.
I just said that Bull and G just poo-pooed my
We
suggestion.
pooed you.
Yeah.
We did pooed you.
I said
20
Drew,
million?
But Malik
Drew
Willis,
Allen and
I
let him
wouldn't say
sit.
Malik Willis
Hey, no.
$20 million, but he is still pretty young. I mean, how old is Malik Willis? 28?
Not even.
not even.
I
Yeah,
closed
right.
this
They
thing,
wouldn't
but
give Baker 30, but we're going to give Malik Willis 20?
Yeah,
Money
well,
went up.
The money
That's
changed.
crazy.
Money went up.
They got Baker right. They were right in their evaluation of Baker.
Consistent.
They were right. The solution was catastrophic, but their initial
Is
judgment
that the
call.
only quarterback evaluation that regime got right?
What's that?
Is
Yes.
Baker the only quarterback
Flacco.
decision that regime got
They
right?
stumbled into that.
Go ahead.
All right, you guys are going to enjoy this one. This is from the Power of I Am. And I quote, local media owes the Browns quarterback tracker an apology for all the doubting. Shador was the Browns' best option since training camp, but hit piece narratives hijacked the process to protect Stefanski.
The quarterback tracker for preseason reps was the dumbest thing ever, is the dumbest thing ever, and will always be the dumbest thing ever. It is 100% meaningless.
It was genius. It was genius. As a marketing person, it was genius marketing.
You know what they made off it? Zero.
Yeah.
They made zero off of it.
Yeah.
They got
ESPN
more.
Cleveland.
They got more exposure.
They got clicks.
Yeah.
They got
Nobody
what?
listens to them.
You don't get money for.
They got Twitter.
Yes,
clicks.
you do.
On
They ain't
Twitter?
making enough money.
No.
Oh, not on Twitter.
Well,
You can monetize
They got a
it.
YouTube channel.
You can monetize it.
Everybody's got a YouTube channel now after us.
The YouTube, the tracker did not make them YouTube.
Is
money.
that true?
Everybody.
Yeah, we started the entire trend.
Dang.
And by the way, we're gonna read all the super chat. We're gonna just go a prolonged show. So Steve,
Okay,
we'll
good.
stop the
No overtime.
T1 stream. No overtime. We're gonna because we got a bunch more, and people paid more than $1 for a lot.
Okay,
a lot
go
of them, so
ahead.
we're gonna
Keep
read them
going.
all. Carlton Chiles, I hope I pronounced that right, says, chaotic quarterback room. Watson was better in Houston. Shador could be better in a better system. Neither is toxic. Flacco, Brissett, Baker are better elsewhere. What's the real issue?
Okay, next.
Listen, I don't gotta. I bring all three of them back. I don't got no problem with them. If they want
What
to,
does Watson being good in Houston have to do with anything at this point?
It's meaningless.
Nothing.
There is you know what it does? There's a percentage of the fan base
5%.
that thinks that Watson is only bad because of Kevin Stefanski.
That's a fact.
yeah,
Which
There-
is,
there is-
which
there
is
is-
That same
insane.
percentage.
That's a segment.
That same percentage thinks
Yeah.
Shador isn't good because of Kevin Stefanski either.
Yeah, well.
They say that the
Okay.
play calling was just horrendous. G talk about it all the time. It was not creative.
you don't buy this. Watson wasn't good because of Stefanski, do you?
no, I think Watson wasn't good for numerous reasons, and
Yes.
some of them has to do with his own self.
Yes, 100%. Go ahead, Mike.
All right, next, King Savage the Elite says, Allen, Hunter, Sam Merrill, 2031st for Michael Porter Jr., Dayron Sharp, and Highsmith. Starting lineup would be DG, Donovan, Tyson, Michael Porter Jr., and Mobley. Could you win a championship with that?
I didn't really take that in. Is that realistic, Mike? Probably not.
What?
Michael Porter Jr. wears a thing on his foot because he can't lift his.
He's been awesome this year.
But he got a device he wear on his ankle.
Does he have drop foot?
Mike doesn't
Yeah,
know.
that's it. He
So,
got drop foot. What is that?
I had drop foot before when I had back surgery.
Of course you did.
Yeah, dang, that's
He
crazy.
has everything.
That's wild work.
You can't lift the foot.
Well, you can't so basically it's from a nerve or a herniated disc in your lower back, and what it does, it usually, mine was my L5S1, and what it does, it cuts off the circulation to the nerve endings in your foot, so you can't move dorsal flex your foot. You know how you could do this and this?
Yeah.
What are you, dolphin?
Dorsal flex is just flexibility, so you need to be able to jump off this joint. But when you have foot drop, you know who else I had? Thad Matta, Ohio State's old basketball coach.
Bucks.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
He had drop foot. Yep.
All right.
So you got to
All right.
walk around with
Speaking
a
of drop
device.
foot,
I didn't
back
know
to
he had a
Mike. Let's
device.
go.
I seen it on Twitter like yesterday, and I'm like, I've
Is that
never
for real?
noticed that.
I didn't know that was legal.
What's not legal?
He got this thing that's a device
Oh.
that's on
You haven't seen
attached
this,
to
Mike?
his ankle.
No, and I watch a lot of Nets games.
And
All right,
that's
next.
crazy.
I'll look into that after I read the next one. S.A. Spencer says, where would you guys rank the 2024 USA basketball team among all-time other great USA basketball teams? Had an argument with my buddy about this yesterday.
Is that the one where they had the video of them all high?
Did they win the gold medal?
Yes.
Steph Curry had the crazy
The shot at the end.
Oh.
They barely beat France. Right? France. Wasn't it France? Yeah.
Yeah, France.
You know, these things are tricky. Like, people say, well, the athletes are better today. Yeah, but also the training methods are better today. Like, if Magic and Bird...
That's still the greatest team of all time.
That's the greatest.
Dream Team?
The Dream Team is the
the
greatest
Dream
team
Team.
of all time. Plus, if those guys were playing now,
They
they'd
shoulda had Isaiah
They'd
Thomas
be
in
bigger. They would also be bigger, stronger, and
It's
faster.
not even close.
Who got in over
What's not
Isaiah
even close?
Thomas?
It's not even the Dream Team is not even close with the rest
Well,
of
I
the
mean,
team.
Christian Leitner.
Yeah.
But
Is
they
that who it is?
I don't know. They were taking one college.
The
player.
worst player?
No, who got in over Isaiah Thomas?
Well, they took
he
took
made,
one
he
college
made
player.
the requirements.
No, I
but
think
he
it might have
wasn't
been.
selected.
Was it Clyde Drexler?
I'll have to look at the roster.
Now,
It was. They were always going to
Scotty,
take one
Bird.
college guy.
Now,
well, and they took Christian Laettner instead of Shaq. Can you imagine they could have Shaq on that
you
team?
might want to be a little upset about this, but the fact that Chris Mullin was over Isaiah Thomas is nasty work.
Mullen could shoot.
I love Chris Mullin.
But
he wasn't
Scotty,
the worst player.
I mean,
Bird, Mullins, Patrick.
Here is the roster.
No S.
all right, let's
Christian Leitner, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler, Karl Malone, Stockton, Chris Mullin, Barkley, and Magic.
So if you
Stockton should have been
It's
out.
Drexler or
He's a Hall of Famer. Every player on
So
that
is
team.
Isaiah Thomas.
it's Chris
Every
Mullin got to
player
go.
on that team is no. You
You
take
Mullin out?
Got to go.
who were the point guard?
We already got Larry Bird.
Stockton.
They were different players.
Man, Stockton
You'd
is
be lumping all the
I'm
white guys
taking
together.
IT over
Wait,
Stockton.
who were the
Stock-
point guards on that team? Magic,
Stockton
Stockton.
and Magic.
Stockton and Magic.
It was just the two of them.
Yeah.
If you're going to put Isaiah in, you take out a point guard.
Stockton.
Chris Mullin wasn't a point guard.
I got Clyde Drexler.
You don't need a point guard.
I got Scottie Pippen.
I would take out.
I got Michael Jordan.
I would take out Stockton.
You got Larry.
I got Larry Bird. I got all kind of scores.
Larry Bird was not. I don't think he played that much. His
He
back
was hurt,
really.
but Larry had to be on
But you had to have
Is
a team.
it a world where Luka could ever pass Larry on the cold white boy skate?
Never.
No.
You don't
Nobody
think
ever
so?
passes Larry. Not
What if
Dirk,
he
nobody.
won like 4 rings?
No. Doesn't matter.
No.
You don't think
now, Dirk,
he could never
But
pass
what about
Larry?
But Dirk's wife is black. Does he get moved up because of that?
No.
Luka could not. If
gets
he
to go to
won
the
4
cookout,
rings, he wouldn't pass Larry.
No.
That's crazy.
Larry Bird saved the NBA.
Well, hold on.
Larry
We're talking
Bird
about
is the
best
coldest
players
white guy ever. That's the
You're
end
talking
of the
about the best
conversation.
white players ever?
Yeah.
I mean, Jokic is way closer than Luka is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Larry Bird, to me,
White chocolate. Jason Williams.
here's the thing
was
about Larry
passing
Bird.
off. He was passing off his elbow.
When Larry Bird first came to the league, like most of the black players were like, whatever.
Until he
The hick from French Lick.
Because you didn't know. Like, it wasn't the
Well,
coverage.
Jokic
and then,
is different in the sense that it's not the race; it's just
No,
the way
yeah.
he
Man.
moves.
So
People
can
doubted him
so
and-
can Jokic pass Larry?
yes.
in terms of like, who's the better player of all time, he can.
But
in terms of the coldest white dude,
Yes.
Well, I don't
Bull, Bull nailed it.
cultural phenomenon, he can never be replaced.
Jokic don't talk trash like Larry.
Larry Bird will punch you in the face.
Larry Bird is the greatest trash talker probably ever.
He backhands
What Bull
people.
said is 100% right.
Yeah.
Jokic could surpass Larry as
As
the
a-
greatest white player of
Right,
all time.
right, right.
But in
He went
terms
to
of the coldest
Indiana
white
State.
dudes,
There's
it is.
this funny video that I saw.
Luka talk trash. He got Dennis Schroeder about to fight him.
There's this funny video I saw.
No.
There's a white woman and a black woman. They're friends. I don't know who they are. But anyway, they do these videos of who white people that black people don't play with. That play what's the I'm saying the expression wrong.
Don't play about.
Don't play about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Eminem,
And
Larry.
it was like Betty White. You know,
Oh.
like all these.
She was fine back in the day. Betty White was a dime in 56.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, go look at Betty White.
Let me go Google it.
Gold girl Betty White, she
And
was different.
Larry Bird is that
She
way.
was different.
I
Betty
feel
White
like
in 1956.
Man, Betty White was, go ahead and look it up. I said,
in
okay.
my opinion, as an outsider, I feel like black players in the NBA have a respect for Larry Bird more than any other white player ever.
Oh,
That's
we
how
got
I see
three
it.
more super chats.
Oh yeah,
That's probably true.
A-Class 22
That's it.
says, Mac Jones should be our quarterback next year. Check the stats. He could be our Purdy, and he'd be
I
cheap.
really don't. Yeah, Betty White was hot.
Man, she was dimed out.
I do not want Mac Jones. I don't think Mac Jones is good enough. Any veteran that you're going to name for me, I'd rather see Shador. I'd rather see what Shador's got with a little better talent around him. And I've made it very clear, I'm unconvinced one way or the other on Shador.
What?
I'm not sure if I think he's good enough or not, but I'd rather see it than see Mac Jones.
And the last two,
Miss Betty.
before we wrap up.
Bless her.
Betty White was hot.
Betty
Bless
White
her.
wasn't playing around.
Isn't she from Cleveland, or she had a thing for Cleveland? I don't know. Yeah, Betty White was hot.
All right, the last two super chats
Yeah.
go hand in hand. I'm going to read them and then we
They
can
about Betty
discuss.
White?
About Betty White.
We don't play with Betty White.
Don't play about her.
Soup Loop says, how much would I have to spend on a super chat for Jason to drop the Brian Flores interview detail? And then Nerd It Out says, it's mentioned a lot that Jimmy meddles in affairs. Can you give specific examples on how he does? I hear similar things from other teams, so it's a little confusing on how what Jimmy does is different.
You got to come higher than that.
How much you got to drop for the Brian?
$1,000 super chat, Jason?
Man, you got to come higher than that.
I can't.
See, nope.
Jimmy has often pitted
Journalist
guys
integrity.
against each other. There's some details we can't share, but Jimmy pits. Maybe he's not doing it anymore, but he used to pit guys against each other.
I do think he's improved.
Yeah,
I do
so.
think
Yeah.
he's tried to.
Yeah.
So what it used to be was he would ask everybody's opinion. Like people who he should not be worrying about their opinion, he would ask their opinion. So now that person feels like they have clout with the owner.
Right.
And what you do is you create a Game of Thrones within the building where everybody's out for power and everybody's out for the owner's ear. Like there are people. Jimmy, just an example. Jimmy should not care what the running backs coach thinks. He's a running backs coach. Like, your opinion does not matter.
Yeah.
Talking about Stone?
I'm just and that's why I'm not trying to put names to. I'm
Not
just throwing out.
anymore.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
throwing out random positions.
Yeah.
But when you're asking everybody's input, I mean There was a
It's hard.
Don't do it.
But there's a story out there that somebody that he fired. That's all I'll say. Somebody that he fired.
Yeah.
He called them 2 weeks later to ask this person's opinion on what he should do. And replacing the person he just fired. Like
that's insane.
These are not normal behaviors.
And this is not the current situation.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, no,
it's not Kevin Stefanski that you're talking about.
No,
right. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's not Kevin.
Because
Kevin.
Yeah,
you're right.
boys
You're
would
right.
jump right
You're
on
right.
that internet. Jason said.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jason's got a lot more insight than me, but I will tell one story, obviously not naming any names, that I know for a fact.
All right, man.
Okay?
I'm going to see.
There's somebody I know that used to work in the Browns organization. Not in like the more on the business and that other side, okay? And this person, highly respected, like it was like an important position. Like he was the head of his department.
Yeah.
Jimmy had asked him for an honest evaluation of something with the organization. And this person I know initially was hesitant to give him like the real honest evaluation because he was worried how Jimmy's reaction would be.
Yeah.
And so he gave it to him, but he didn't go all in on the honesty. Apparently, Jimmy brought him back. I don't remember the timeline, how much longer later. And he was like, I feel like you kind of held back a little bit. Listen, I need these answers. I need the truth. Well, this guy decided to give him the full truth, and this person was fired.
There you go. There's a
That's
lot.
bad.
There's a lot that has gone on in that building over the years that is unbelievable. And I'm not going to go into detail on it, but I can't give the full floor. It's probably not as juicy as. It's not that juicy.
It's just an embarrassing way you ask questions.
And I do think they've gotten better over the. He had no idea what he was doing when he first got. No idea.
Yeah.
And I do think they've tried to learn. They've tried to get better. One thing I'll say, like when he first took over, the draft is obviously crucially important. Draft night is high tensions. Guy that you are working. And
I'm there.
And they had like friends and family in the room,
kids running around,
and turned it into sort of a party almost, while like they're trying to work.
Yeah.
And it's little stuff like it's the grandkids on the sideline during the Jets game.
I think the one thing I'll say, and I kill Jimmy all the time. I'll give him one positive that I will say about Jimmy.
He pays.
And I do think he has gotten better. I do believe he really wants to win.
Oh, for sure.
But
at all costs.
I believe that, and I don't.
Literally.
I think he wants to win at all costs, and there are a number of owners who don't.
Yeah.
Well, to start,
they all want to win, but they don't all want to win at whatever cost. But Jimmy, maybe better now, still has no clue what he's doing.
Hey, would you take him and his purse strings for the Guardians? This is a great question, Bull.
We'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
if he want to win at all, if he wants to win at all costs, pay Tyvis more money.
He'd be the Mets.